You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition
You're
of the
listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Welcome to my nightmare. Welcome to your nightmare. Welcome to our nightmare. God, what an awful sports weekend. Congratulations to my boy Jerry Colquitt and Hawk Nation and the 12 out there everywhere, the 12. And they really, I'll tell you one thing about that Great Northwest up there. They really do, crowd-wise, know how to get the party started. I mean, that is a great home crowd they play in front of. And the Seattle Seahawks, who came into existence when I was a kid with the likes of Steve Largent and Jim Zorn, they were a lot of fun back in the day. But they're your Super Bowl champion. And last night's game reminded me of two teams that came from like almost two different leagues and were playing each other. That's what you would think a game would look like. I mean, they thoroughly outclassed that team they were playing last night. It was like it wasn't even a contest. I saw a meme today where they said Bad Bunny was the leading yards gainer in the deal. Seattle just said, you know what? We know we're better. We don't have to put anything on this Darnold guy. We're just going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to win a championship. We're going to put everybody to sleep doing it. But we're going to go out. We're going to win us a championship, which is more than I could say for this Tennessee basketball team. Bino, how you doing?
Tony, I'm all right today.
You know, Bino, I was in here playing defense the other night because the Kentucky morons, whose schedule I will look at here in a second. Bino, I sent you the screenshot of how many phone calls I got. Will you share with the living listener whether or not that was a bit the other night when I said that those idiots were calling my phone ad nauseum? Share with the living listener, Bino.
No, Tony, no, it is. It was full of Kentucky area codes that were bombarding you with calls.
I sent to my son Anthony, and he said, Dad, those are a bunch of really bored people. I said, you know, when you put it that way, those are a bunch of bored people. Wonder why they're so worried about what I'm saying about their basketball team, Bino. I guess that's a compliment to me, I guess.
Yeah, it's a compliment to you, Tony, and their their consumption with Kentucky basketball.
And their mid team, because surely they know they're mid, right? Those people are wise enough, smart enough, have enough, whatever it is, to know that they're mid, right?
I think they may be celebrating what victories they're going to get, Tony.
That's a good thought on your part. Yeah, that's right. And again, what's wrong with that? And I listen, post-game the other night, and this is true. I'm sitting here minding my own business. Of course, Matt Jones sicks those people on me, and we're the show of record, and this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden, you know, they're all in the YouTube chat, and they're kind of funny, you know. A guy told me, maybe I'll share it with you in the third hour. He said, but when you say bruh, did you like the text, Bino, what the guy said about me? What it sounds like? I showed that.
I must have missed that one, Tony.
I gotta send it to you. I sent that to Laura. She laughed so loud. And some of the, I was getting like texts from these people on my phone, getting blown up. And then probably 50 calls on my personal cell phone. Now, I will say this for the Kentucky fans, the idiots that were calling. they were in pretty good spirit because a couple times Laura picked up, and they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to call the call-in number." They were they wouldn't dunk on her, but the couple times I picked up on the air, one guy said something to me that I haven't heard since I was like 16, 17. I was like, wow, people still say that to each other, huh? Okay. Very creative, very funny. I tell you, Matt said this down through the years. I love how their fan base and our fan base, I love how we hate each other because we're basically the same people.
Yeah.
You ever thought about that, Bino?
No, it's true, Tony.
They
it's
call
true.
us rednecks. We call them rednecks. And they say we have crazy fans. We say they have crazy fans. And we are basically two sides of the same coin, which I love. I told her last night, I said, these people are kind of funny. I almost appreciated the hazing they were giving me because they know their team sucks. They know they're one guy's like, well, he calls mid. I'm like, dude, you haven't been to the Elite Eight since COVID. You guys are the mid cats. You need to play in Middlesboro. You need to embrace it. Is there a Middle Kentucky University? Because you need to go play there. You need to go play a home game there. You're the mid cats. You can call us the mid cats. I can call you the mid cats. You're mid. Your team this year's mid. You look at the rest of their schedule. They're going to lose a bunch of games here after this one. They're the mid-cats. But you know what they are? We have a head coach, Bino, and this is why the guy doesn't get over the hump in March. I hate to say this, but we were talking about the other night. He just can't help his team during games. It's just not Rick Barnes' forte. Great program guy. Great floor. The ceiling will always be a little limited with him because he just doesn't help his teams during games. And I said it right into my microphone. I'm going to say it again. They will not run a play for Gillespie or the other guy and just run plays. Run set plays for them. So you come out and you double team Ement, you take them away, and that was the ball game. Everybody else just stood around and watched. That was a awful. You talk about a terrible loss Saturday night. Once again on Friday, I said right into this microphone that I expect to win that game. And you know what? I expect to win that game because Tennessee's got a better basketball team than them. And twice now, our coach has sat over there and let the other coach outcoach him. And don't get me wrong, our coach is a Hall of Fame basketball coach, but coaching during the game itself is just not his strength. And I know that's going to rankle some feathers in the cult of Barnes, and I get how that sounds. And I'm not ripping the guy. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. I'm not a facts and figures guy and statistics and all that. I'm just not. I don't retain. He's not a feel the moment guy. Those of you who play music, he's not a pocket creator. He doesn't have the feel for it. He just doesn't. Wins a lot of games. Knows how to recruit players. Is a great relationship guy. Is a good teacher of the sport. Is a solid guy for getting you ready for the game. But when it comes to that extra something, does a great job of working officials. Got a home whistle the other night in Rupp Arena for the most part. But when it comes to just that little thing of the game, that sliver of the game, of feeling it, he's just not your guy. Just not your guy. And that's okay. He's a great coach. But he's just not, put it this way, he's light years from what the Lady Vols are going through right now. They would kill to have a Rick Barnes. Okay? Because what they have, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what this is Danny White hired. I don't even know what you'd call that. And I'm in no mood today because I sat through both games yesterday. I sat through yesterday's game. I sat through our game. I sat through a 2-hour and 20-minute Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime the other night, and I'm not in the mood for it. And poor Rick Barnes, Bino, he just doesn't. Bino, when they had an inbounds play and they inbounded the ball to Estrella, What was Bino Jeff Henderson doing?
Tony, I didn't react to that quite the way that you did. I figure they're fouling whoever we inbound the ball to, so it really doesn't make any difference. Whoever got the ball I thought they fouled too early and actually gave us a chance to win the basketball game by doing so. And I also look at Barnes a little differently than you do too. I think Barnes is a better strategic coach than you do. I think Barnes' downfall is his teams are never offensively fortified the way you have to be to consistently go deep in the NCAA basketball. We're always one score short. And so what do you do when you get to that point? You got two guys.
You got two guys.
What do you do? That's where I think his downfall is. I think he's probably as good strategically as most, or as the vast majority. I just think that his teams generally, what keeps the ceiling low is that it's all defense and rebounding, and there's not enough offensive firepower to his teams.
I think we're saying the same thing, though, because if you have those two guys, most teams, that'd be enough to win and to go far in March. If you had two great offensive players like that. But his care of the offensive end, Bino, is so... Well, you just care so little about it that they don't run anything set. They don't call anybody's numbers. I mean, call some numbers, man. And then the other night, they kept taking time out, Bino, and every play they ran was worse than the last one. Poor guy had a hideous night the other night. That poor guy had a hideous night the other night. No offense.
I can't look at the game and evaluate it that way, Tony. I just don't know enough about it to look at it and evaluate it that way. But again, I don't think it's the strategy. I think it's the piece offensively.
Brian Hartman, Penny, for your thoughts. You're my guy that I come to, you and Bino, for a Lady Vol conversation. I think Lady Vol Nation, the conversation needs to be had about this coach. I mean, we're in an era where, Brian, this lady looks like she's way out of her depth, man. And what she said to the media last night, after one of her losses, she said our team came late, which a head coach should never say that has control of their program, his or her program. You just don't say things like that. And then yesterday, she basically said our team's a bunch of losers and they quit. They're a bunch of quitters. I don't ever remember hearing a coach anywhere say something like that, which is why it was a high-profile game. It's been picked up by the ESPNs of the world and people like that. It's like all over the place. Kim Caldwell, my team quits. Kim Caldwell, my team's quitters. Nobody says that into a microphone. My team's quit, and I don't like my team. Basically, she's excusing herself while going in on her team. It kind of doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in business. It doesn't work that way in life. It kind of doesn't work that way, Kim. I'm sorry. It sort of doesn't work that way.
Are they quitting on her? Is her message not getting clear, getting through to them? Are they possibly going to quit on her? Is that what we've seen? And guess who comes to town Thursday night? Or comes back to town? It might be the biggest game of the season for Coach Caldwell. If she loses to Missouri, coached by Kelly Jolly Harper, look out.
I just find when you tell me on one Sunday you got the largest defeat in the history of the illustrious Tennessee-UConn series, which really is the series that got the potty. I mean, I'm pissed off today. I'm sorry. I'm saying things I shouldn't be saying on here. Watching our basketball team blow 2 games to that mid-Kentucky team, I'm sorry. I'm actually not sorry. What in the world, man? These people are making big money to coach at these places. What are we doing, man? Like, that was Saturday night was like unforgivable. And then this lady on Sunday comes out and says, well, you know, I'm over here and I'm great. They're a bunch of quitters. Huh?
And
excuse me?
There's a lot of people who think that her program was prioritized over baseball, which led to Tony Vitello leaving.
See,
she's going to, even though that may not be true as much, she is going to really catch more heat just from that standpoint and that faction.
Here's my thing about the men's side and the women's side over the weekend. Coaching. These people make a lot of money. And they put their teams together. And they know what they're signing up for. And you can't stand up there and we're not even at Valentine's Day. Bradley's Chocolate. Shout out to Bradley's. And Kim Caldwell, you know, she ain't going to be my Valentine anytime soon, which is fine. I have one. But she reminds me of Danny White. I can see what they saw in each other. Very peculiar behavior from a head coach. And her stuff on the sidelines even is peculiar. Bino, if you had kids on your roster that you said into a microphone, quit when the pressure gets on them, would you play those kids in a game, Bino? If you had somebody on your roster that you knew quit when the pressure got on, would you play them?
No.
Okay. Then what are we doing? I mean, that's coaching 101. You can't say into a microphone, well, you know, I mean, they just quit. They just, you know, well, it's just them. It's not me. I mean, look at me. I'm not, you know, I'm this and I'm beautiful and I'm my offense is great and I'm smart and I'm smarter than the room. And, you know, I mean, look at me. But look at them.
What was the punishment for being late?
And that's exactly right, Bri. When you say that into a microphone, was there any discipline? Listen, my name for her, and I don't mean anything by it, but I call her Queen Kimmy. And Danny White's a Queen of England. I call him the Queen of England. Not the king. He's a Queen of England. He's on his throne over there. You can't get to him. Can't talk to him. Nobody talks to him. I have so many people because I'm a maniac and I don't care and I never have, okay? Because I'm just going to tell you what I think and it is what it is and the good, the bad, and the ugly. Danny White walks by people in his athletic department and doesn't even say hi to them. You know why? Because he is the Queen of England. Kim Caldwell got up there yesterday and said, you know what? Not, I own this. Not, this is on me. Not, I'm not reaching my basketball team. Not, I'm doing a horrible job. Not, every game that we've played against somebody that can play, they're beating the absolute hell out of us like they mean it. Not, we were down 50 today in a league game. 50. Till we made a couple late 3 balls to make it like 45 at the end. None of that. No, 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 no. It was, this team has a thing, and they just quit. They just quit. They're quitters. We have players that just, they get a little adversity and they quit. Question. Who has the third highest payroll in women's college basketball? Answer, you. Question. Who brought this collection of quitters to this program? Answer, you. Question. Who's responsible for this? Answer, you. You can't say that after a game about your basketball team with 6 weeks left in the season. You think they quit now? You wait till they have a little more adversity. Who's going to play for a coach like that? Bino, would you like to hear that about yourself after a game? When you just, because your coach likes to make line changes and has to be right, would you like to hear somebody say that about you, Beanstar?
I would not, Tony.
I don't know that I've ever heard of it. And Danny White, I'm telling you, Jeff Walls from Louisville was begging people, get me involved with the job. Tony, how do you know? I saw the texts. The guy's been to multiple Final Fours. Danny White was never going to do that. Because one thing we've learned about Danny White is it has got to be his idea. We've seen it. I mean, we've seen the guy change. The guy has changed traffic patterns at UT. I'd be surprised if he doesn't try to figure out a way to make the Tennessee River flow a different way one day. Gets up and commissions a study on that. That and loss on Saturday night. How do you play a game in the second half and Jacoby Gillespie scores a point, Bino? How do you do that?
I don't know, Tony. It'd help if he'd make a shot.
He nearly banked one in from half court that would have tied the game.
He really did, Bri. Kentucky Todd said, hey, Tony, your show is mid at best. Well, Kentucky Todd, you ought to know because Kentucky's in your name. And you're the home of the Mid-Cats. And let me know next time you guys make an Elite Eight. Final Fours aren't even the goal there now. Elite Eights are. And we beat your ass last year in the squared circle and made you like it. Brah. They told me, Bino, when I say brah, a certain thing. It sounds like I'm doing a certain thing. This thing is crazy, man. Well, I know one thing about those women, Bino. When they get up on somebody else, the lady from South Carolina, she is a rough one now. You don't mess with her, okay? Dawn Staley. Those women, when they get up on each other, Bino, you think they're mercy subbing at the end of games or pouring it on? Which one?
There is no mercy.
Cassidy says the goal at Kentucky this year is a Sweet 16, and to mid Kentucky Todd. I want to say to you, I don't think you're going to get there for your goal this year. Bino, are you buying, selling, or trading that Kentucky team being alive for round 3 in the NCAA tournament?
Tony, I think I'm selling everyone in the SEC except Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know how it's happened, but we have a league this year that's kind of like our league was in football this past season. Just kind of a tweener year in the league. I don't know how it's happened.
Yeah. I think beyond Florida, Arkansas and Vandy probably have the best chance to advance in the tournament. But, Vandy's issue, they're good, but they don't have a rim protector. And they're not going to get a whole lot of points in close.
No.
And if you can't in the NCAA tournament, you're going to have issues. So I think it's Florida and the rest in this league this year.
But I do want to wish the Cats well, and y'all do amuse me. I'm not kidding. Like all the calls I got, and it's just fun. I mean, it makes me laugh. It's fun. It's fun to be in the middle of this, and we have a fun time. This Tennessee basketball team is interesting because I still think they have there's a higher end there somewhere. The problem is that you have the really big problem, Bino, with that team is that two-guard situation. That's just in the modern game, it's difficult to get that little offense out of your two-guard and be successful in real basketball games in the modern age.
You know, I still think we could probably overcome it, Tony, if we got the scoring in the post that we should be getting, that we're not. We can talk all we want about that basketball game the other night, and all of them are valid points. The key to that basketball game Saturday night was the few opportunities that we had to score in the second half, for whatever reason, were point blank, and we didn't convert.
Yeah.
Time after time after time, we missed close in. And that would have been enough to stave them off. I thought we were too timid offensively, almost like we were running clock with every possession, and we would get toward the end of the shot clock and have nothing. Now, I give Kentucky a lot of credit because their defensive intensity, for whatever reason, and it's been maddening, for whatever reason, both games, Kentucky started the second half with a double-digit deficit. And what we saw was them come out with much greater defensive intensity, much higher energy level, much more confidence, and much better execution than we could muster, for whatever reason, in the second half. Both games, carbon copies. And they were getting anything they wanted, any look they wanted offensively. And the few that we got in the second half, we just didn't convert.
You know, Bino, they got so many looks that they missed a ton.
Yeah.
They missed a ton of open shots themselves down low.
Yeah.
Or they could have won by 10. I mean, they were getting that poor Carey guy against a team like them. Why do they have the two bigs in the game late in the game, Bino? When we take a couple possession lead there after that spurt from Ament, and it looked like we were going to stave them off and maybe hold them off. Why do we have two big people on the floor when neither of them can guard anybody? And we're asking this Carey guy to grab people 15, 20 feet from the basket, and he can't move his feet, Bino. I don't understand it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do that, and then we get to the end of the game, and we got Amari Evans down there on the block. And they get offensive rebound, it wins the game. Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't understand. What I really have to try to do is not to overreact to losses to Kentucky, because every one of those feels like two losses to me. Yeah. Every one of them.
That's me.
And the two this year have been as maddening as any I can ever remember in my life.
Yes.
And I overreacted to the first one, and I promised myself I was not going to overreact to this one. And I'm doing my best not to. But they were both as maddening as they could be in the way that they were lost.
We have a South Carolina guy in our chat today, Bri. He says, as a South Carolina fan, I really wish the Lady Vols would get back to greatness. One thing you should know is that South Carolina had only 7 healthy players for the game. They had only 7 players dressed for that game. They had only 7 players dressed for the game, and they were up by 50 at one point late in the game. Bri, are you worried about this lady making it? Or is it too early to worry? Are you worried that she might be in over her head here? I mean, the way her team plays and the things she says, This ain't looking too good for the home team, Bry. Is it too early to wonder that, or because I
Well,
think a lot of Lady Vol people that
it just
are
doesn't
immersed in
appear
it.
like their ceiling is sort of where it was before she got hired. They have a Sweet 16 type ceiling, but last year they sort of gave everyone hope that they beat UConn at home. They
Yep.
had some nice wins,
Yep.
and they got to the Sweet 16. They had to go win on the road, but there was some hope. But I want to come to Danny White's defense a little bit.
Yep.
He didn't want to make a change. It was the folks that they rely on for NIL that did not want to put much money behind Kelly. So he was kind of forced to make a change.
That's a good point.
And that should be pointed out.
That's a good point. Last thing any day when you're kind of new on the job, where he was a couple years, you just want all those coaches that you didn't hire just to keep on keeping on, and you can keep cashing your $3 or $4 million check, whatever it is, with your rollover in perpetuity, and let the good times roll.
Tony, the last thing anybody wants to hear from me is status of the Lady Vol program. But I mean, how can you not be concerned when back to back you have the largest loss in the UConn series history and then the largest loss in program history back to back? I mean, that can't portend too well for your coach's longevity.
Again, it's a sport I follow. I don't watch it night in and night out. I know enough about it to know that the teams at the top are light years better than the other teams. I know enough about it to know that the Lady Vols have a top 5 payroll easily in the deal. A friend of mine didn't believe that and reached out to an SEC head coach that he knows, and the SEC head coach said, "Oh yeah, Tennessee is one of the big spenders. They got one of the largest payrolls." And they're absolutely, they got, at one point yesterday, who was doing the game for ESPN, Bry? Who was that doing the game? Do you know, the color commentator yesterday? Because at one point, the color commentator said, one team out here is playing hard, and the other team's hardly playing. Now, that kind of thing during a game when I'm watching my alma mater play a sport just shouldn't be said. And then our head coach stands up after the game and absolves herself of it. You know, these guys are, my team's just a bunch of quitters. Excuse me? At what point did you take a timeout and take the players that are quitting, and if I have to end the game with 3 walk-ons in the game, or I have to dress somebody that's over there in a support capacity, or I have to end the game 5-on-3 to make a point to my team, this is me now. This is me. That's what I do. I mean, you're almost to the point where that head coach where, well, you know, my team came late tonight. Excuse me? What is this, like Wade Houston basketball? What are we, back in the Jerry Green era where he came 15 minutes before a tip-off one night? And they got him some coffee? I mean, what are we doing? You can't say that into a microphone. And see, that's where I think, and again, I'm not going to get in the middle of it because it's not my style. That's where I think you show your inexperience. When you take somebody that has little experience and put them in a spot like that, a Lady Vol job's a big job in that sport. It's a big job, like Brian said. They're like the New York Yankees trying to get their footing back, or the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League. Then they're trying to get their footing back. Big fan base. People care about it. The only time we're going to talk about it here is if it turns like it's turned. How can you not talk about it? I don't think I've ever remember a coach anywhere in any sport here say, yeah, my team's just a bunch of quitters. And, well, look at me. I'm great. Excuse me? Squeeze me? Baking powder? What? Yeah, I mean, they were just a bunch of quitters. And then we have Barnes. We have Barnes over there Saturday night. Every inbounds play was worse than the last. And then he's got a guard on the floor after the game. And then after the game, he says, yeah, I should have had. Really? You should have? How many people do you have behind your bench helping you so we can get the right personnel at the end of a game? How many assistant coaches do we have? How many support people do we have? Mark in Dallas traveled from Dallas to go watch the game, for crying out loud. The rebound comes right to Evans, but he's too short. And it goes right over his arms. And then what about playing two big people late? I mean, I'm so mad at Barnes right now. And I'm like, Bino, I shouldn't be overreacting to that loss. But I have to wear those Kentucky losses because those people wear me out, Rick Barnes.
And one of them in Dwayne Brown, who had 12 rebounds.
He wasn't in the game, Bri, late. That's what he said. We probably should have had Brown. Really? Should have had the guy that had 12 rebounds in? Really? That's interesting. Do tell. And see, here's the issue, and I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the class warfare thing, but this is the truth. You got a men's basketball coach making $8 million who's lost two leads. How much in their coaching staff over there? Total. What do you think they're spending? And you can't have Evans in the game? You have to have Evans in the game late? After you've played with two big people when you shouldn't have been. And then when you should have had them, you didn't have them for rebounding purpose. Like, what are we doing? And then we have this women's coach yesterday who says to Barnes, hold my Cosmo. I got something for you. Check this out. I'm going to lose to a team with 7 players by, count it, 45 points. They were up 50 on me. I hit a couple 3 balls late. And then I'm going to say afterwards, hey, nothing to see here, man. I didn't do it. She was doing her Basilio imitation. I didn't do it. I have a bunch of quitters. I didn't do it. Kim, memo to you. You did do it. You are doing it. And unfortunately, I don't think you're done doing it yet. That's my news flash to you. Me, it's the week of love, and I'm pissed. I'm a soldier. Quoting, who was that, Bri? Who said that after the game?
Kellen Winslow Jr.
I'm going to do it for this year. I'm pissed. I'm a soldier. So we continue with more after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Newsflash, Basilio listeners, the spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Basilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's national award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality, pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from B. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. PB back with you, 865-200-5402. As I welcome you back, and that Super Bowl was really a bummer last night, guys. Wasn't that a bummer game? We've had a bunch of pretty good Super Bowls, but the last two have been just... Last year's game was sort of unwatchable, and this year's game was unwatchable.
The Super Bowl was Rams Seahawks, not last night.
That's right, Brian. Really good point. Which is what a lot of people thought, but we don't want to believe that, or didn't want to believe that, or however you want to say that.
The Rams would have done the same thing last night.
Oh, yeah.
They might have even scored more points. They might have gotten in the 30s. Maybe 40.
Well, that's just it. I mean, that team last night had no... The other team had no chance. And so, why bother? You know? At the end of the day, why bother? So... Brian, what'd you think of Bad Bunny last night? Then we'll go to the phones.
Since Easter is just a few weeks away, I'm kind of looking for Good Bunny.
Bino, did you watch it?
I did not, Tony, but I don't remember the last Super Bowl halftime show I watched. I didn't. Anybody I'd want to see is dead.
What are you, Martin Columbus now?
Green Day would have been a good banger for halftime.
I mean, nobody cares who I want at halftime, Tony.
Billy Joe Armstrong.
Most of the people that I would want to see,
Brian,
they're no longer living.
Brian, is Billy Joe Armstrong wearing a rug? Because he looked awesome up there. Was that like a hair weave? It looked like Hair Club for Men weave or something. And I've been seeing some memes.
I don't know, but Green Day kicks. Green Day just kicks.
I've always loved. They're the real deal, Holyfield. But there was a meme going around of John Bon Jovi and juxtaposing him with Maude. Have you guys noticed how a lot of these rockers now, as they age, are morphing into like women? Have you ever thought about that? Because that is true. And listen, some of the old dudes that I see walking in the park that have like the long ponytails, no offense to you, I love each and every one of you. I'm for you, not against you. And it's great that you're out there moving, and I'm for you, okay? But the real long ponytail thing, and y'all look like Granny Clampett. I mean, Bino, can I say that out loud? Do you have any of those guys on your softball deal, Bino, the Granny Clampett-looking people?
We do not, Tony, but I've seen a few.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Tony. I know what you're referencing.
Like folks your age, and they do the thing where they grow the long. It's almost like it's a deal where before you went into the work world, okay, which I kind of get this, okay, before you go into the work world when you're a kid and you're in college or whatever, you're at that age, you can like do what I did in school, which is wear like the long earring. And, you know, I used to like have one time the great Robert Smith from Maryville, he had one of those barber kits, and he had a chair, and we used to call his place the barber shop. And he would sit there and he would like shave mohawks in her head or, cut like designs in her head and that kind of thing. And I was just dating Laura at the time, and she said, you got your hair cut? And I said, yeah. What do you think? She said, do it again. I'm breaking up with you. And I was like, oh, well, I guess you don't like it. But these guys walk around now, you see them. And Bon Jovi's got this thing now, like with the big hair, and literally looks like Maude now. And I guess it makes sense with those guys because a lot of them are beautiful men. And so what you have is you have this 2 periods of life thing where you have your professional life where you got to keep your hair cut, you got to be Natalie attired and all that stuff. And then you retire and it's like, okay, I can grow my hair long again. Only one small problem. When you were young and you did it, you looked, I don't know, like you hadn't had a shower in weeks, but kind of cool. But you all smelled like, they used to make bubblegum cards, kiss cards back in the day. Tom Guffon will remember this from Guffon Moving and Storage. Those things had a certain smell to them. Certain sections in McKay's used books have that smell. I don't know. I'm free associating here. So just that you just have to smell that smell. I feel like I'm in the middle of a Skynyrd song here. But when you smell that smell, you know what I'm talking about. And you got around those people and you were like, wow, they have that smell. And it was like 4 days without a shower and they smoke. Okay, fine. So then you have your professional life, you do your thing. And now we're back to this. And now we're back to this. Lisa Coleman, 294. Tony is Uncle Fester. No, I'm not. I kind of fashion myself, Lisa, more as a, not an Uncle Fester. I'm a George the Animal Steel. I'm thinking about dyeing my tongue. Since I can't grow my hair long, Bino, I'm thinking about getting my hair like making my tongue green and going with your George the Animal Steel look. Bino, we lost to a team Saturday night that had denim on. It was denim night. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, Tony, it's kind of like losing in a softball tournament to a bunch wearing jean shorts. I don't know.
Not good.
Never good when we lose Kentucky. Never, ever, ever. And in my mind, we've lost 8 straight regular season games to them because every one of them feels like 2.
I just came on here in the first segment in the A block today, Bino, and called Barnes not a good in-game coach. I'm so pissed off at him when I know he's very good in-game. But he wasn't very good the other night, and he's really urinated me off twice now. And he won't take timeouts. Hey, I give Bambi the other night a lot of credit. Ament was getting ready to go. The Vols were getting ready to go up 20 in that game. And he called the timeout when Ament was in the middle of that really huge long run, and he stopped the run. Our guy doesn't do that. I don't know what the... I saw a thing yesterday with Dawn Staley. I'm gonna shout her out and give her some love. First of all, she coached in a Seattle Seahawks jersey yesterday because one of her players, That's So Raven, is dating one of the star breakout rookies from South Carolina, the DB of the Seahawks. Boy, that defense is unbelievable, Andy. Unbelievable, Andy. You talk about a unit that flies around to the football. So she rocked the jersey yesterday. And then said afterwards, or she said at halftime, she said, yeah, I love him. He's a Gamecock to the core. And she said, and That's Raven's man. She said, I'm for Raven. Bino, she played a zone defense yesterday. They never play zone. They played a zone defense yesterday and concentrated on rebounding the basketball. Why more college coaches don't play zone defense is beyond me. Beyond me. But Mark Pope the other night, he doesn't call that timeout. Ament was going to have 30 at halftime, Bino, because Ament was getting ready. You talk about when Michael Jordan, there was a VHS that went around in the 90s. He was talking about one of those playoff games where he went crazy, and he said the rim looked like a big bucket. It looked like a big bucket. And that's exactly, Ament had that look about him, Beanstar.
Yeah, he had two of the great back-to-back halves we've seen for most anyone here in the Ole Miss, second half Ole Miss and first half Kentucky. Now we need for Nate to have a game where he has two halves.
Alan just said
He's been playing a half.
Alan said, I need a lollipop to suck on, Bino. I do have a Kojak thing going on right now. I'll tell you something about Telly Savalas. Kids, look it up. I used to watch him as a kid and go, God, look at that old bastard. I look at him now and I go, man, that dude's smooth. Who loves you, baby? Who loves you, baby? All right, let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. I hated that sports weekend. And shout out Lindsey Vonn.
Wow.
You know? May we all have a spirit of Lindsey Vonn about us. All of us. You know what the spirit...
Is that not scary how they had to airlift her that way?
Hey, Bri. May we all have the spirit of Lindsey Vonn, brah. Actually, in that sport, truth be told, that's how you get somebody, that's how you get a competitor that's been incapacitated. That's how you get them out of there. That's tried and true. That's part of the drama.
You can't land a helicopter conventionally, obviously, but
yeah, you have to airlift them. You have to airlift them. Here's a lady. I give her a lot of credit. She's early 40s. The sands are going through the hourglass. It's her true love and passion in her life is going down that mountain at 70 miles an hour. She's had umpteen surgeries. She is a daredevil and an OG from the word go. And her wreck yesterday was so bad that when you watch it on video, she gets lost in a cloud of snow. And I'll bet.
It takes unbelievable courage just to come down that hill 70 miles an hour. I can't imagine doing it when you got a torn ACL.
And Bino, and a partial knee replacement.
Yeah.
I mean, she's insane, is what she is. There's got to be a saying about people like her that look like Barbie, but do something like... She didn't do something like Ken. She's way tougher than Ken. I mean, here's the thing about her, too, people like her. Because you know these people in life, right? I bet if you'd have told her, hey, Lindsay, before you leave this gate, one thing I want you to know, this isn't going to end well for you. I bet she would have taken that ride anyway, Bino.
Oh, yeah.
People like her are not wired like people like you and me. They're just not. People like her, some of us would say, like a buddy of mine said, well, she had no business out there. She took a kid's spot. And when she got hurt, she shouldn't have done it. And yeah, I agree with that. That's probably true. People like her, though, are what take people like us to the moon one day. Now, you look up in the moon, you go, like, cavemen, you and I walking on the earth 500 years ago, and we look up in the sky and we go, one day somebody's going to go up there, and you'd look at me and say, well, would you do it if I could shoot you up there? And I'd say, hell no. Imagine how crazy you'd have to be to get in a little canister and hurl through space, Bino. Be the first guy to do that. Imagine how nutty you would have to be to do that. That's the mind of Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah, I'm just not skilled enough, courageous enough, or consumed enough.
Consumed is a great word.
In anything.
Yep. Consumed is a great word. Because I'm telling you, if you would have said to her, hey, Lindsey, I know how this tape is going to play out, and it's going to play out with you being airlifted to the hospital. If I were you, I wouldn't get on that mountain. She would say, get away from me, Satan. I'm going down that mountain. So we'll go to the phones. 865-200-5402. It's been a light day on the phones. Let me get a quick station ID, and we'll get a couple calls in.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
And you're not hearing things. We're back on the radio. Shout out to everybody involved for making that happen. It's a beautiful day on Fan Run. As we're back with you, tomorrow the gang will be out live at Smoky Mountain Brewery, Turkey Creek. The great William Pattison will be there, followed by Dubsy and Carew. Get out and eat lunch and eat dinner and hang out with them. And the Vols actually don't have a game tomorrow. They actually are off till Wednesday. Rice fans. Be interesting to see.
Another 9 o'clock start for you guys, Tony.
No, it isn't.
Congratulations.
Are you kidding?
I believe it is. No, I believe it's 9
Yes,
o'clock.
it is a 9 o'clock start. It sure is.
I'll tell you what's fraudulent is this ESPN thing, guys. This listing a game at 8:30 that they know damn right well isn't starting at 8:30. That's totally fraudulent. Fraudulent of them. Acting like these games are played in 2-hour windows instead of moving the Duke game back to a 6 o'clock start and being honest with what you're doing. Now, wait a second, Brian. What time did the Duke game tip? It tipped at 6, didn't it?
6:30.
It tipped at 6, about 6:36 actual time.
Here's a question for you. Why? When's the last time you saw a college basketball game last 2 hours? How many have we had this year that went under 2 hours? Which is just having no regard for everybody up at Lexington. That's why the other night people say, well, you stayed on 2 hours, 15 minutes the other night. Why? I said, I feel bad for our people that were coming home. I wanted to give them something to listen to on the way home. On our Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. And by the way, I would have stayed on longer, but if I had stayed on longer, I was going to say some things that I regret. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What do you say, Tony?
Philly, welcome in, buddy.
How you been on, Brian?
Been better,
What's
Phil.
up, Philadelphia?
Been better. Been worse. Been better.
My condolences to the Carver family. He was a real great guy.
Philly,
Yes,
he thought the world of you, buddy. He thought the world of you.
Guys, I watched that Lady Vol game because there was nothing else to watch for the Super Bowl. I don't like pre-game crap on the Super Bowl. That's about the worst 60 minutes of basketball I ever seen.
Phil, that pressing stuff against teams that can really play, I had reservations about it on the front end, but I can honestly tell you that is never going to work. Now, I don't know what this lady thinks she's going to do, but the hockey changes and then her kids don't play hard, Phil. Did you notice that? Everything was a layup. It looked like our game. It looked like the game the night before. Everything we gave up to Kentucky, Phil, was a layup. We're supposed to be so great defensively. Everything was a layup, Phil.
Yeah. I like the way the Lady Vols handled that 2-3 zone South Carolina threw out there in the second half.
That's exactly right.
Bring it around the nose and shoot a 30-footer. That's how they played that zone.
Why won't more men's teams, Phil, play zone defenses? I don't understand it.
I don't know. Barnes is stubborn to a fault. That's just the way he is. He does the same thing every game when he gets beat. I mean, you notice that?
What do you mean?
Well, he don't call timeouts for one thing. And why is Ament throwing the ball in? I don't get that one bit.
Bino covered for him earlier. Bino told me I was wrong about his in-game coaching acumen.
Tony, I didn't say that he doesn't make some in-game mistakes. I said every game is not about him.
This Nate Ament throwing the ball in, Phil.
I don't like that either.
You know what it looks like? When balls used to get hit at Steve Sachs, who was the pitcher, Bino, that would roll the ball over to first base? The inbounds pass he made to Estrella was almost intercepted because it was thrown to the side of him. He looked so uncomfortable throwing the ball in. So strange.
Well, Barnes did have a winning record against Kentucky now. I think he's 2 games below 500 against them. I think they've won 7 out of 8. Am I right or wrong on that?
Yes, they've won 7 of 8.
And really, Kentucky, this is probably the worst they've been in the whole time we played them. Their program is not an elite program right now.
Philly, they are mid. They need to play a game at Middlesboro. It's a shame there's not a Middle Kentucky University because they belong in Middlesboro. They're the Middlesboro Cats. They're the mid Cats, Phil.
Well, if Barnes wants to make one more run in him, Tony, he's going to have to go out and recruit a couple more shooters or somebody can handle the ball. I mean, who coaches the post players down there? They get worse every year.
Yeah, it's interesting. I tell you who's really regressed this year is this Akpara guy. He has had a rough season. Jeez Louise. And I know he's still beat up.
Ziegler could throw that lob to him, and Gillespie can't.
Yep.
And like Bino said earlier, they're shooter short, and every year, I mean, that's the way Barnes is. I mean, I don't get it. And then you recruit these scrubs from overseas who can't play. I don't get it. Alabama goes out there and gets one over from the NBA, though, and look what they're doing now.
He got a stay Friday.
Auburn,
did you guys see where he got a stay in court Friday? Did you guys see that? He's playing for the rest of the year, y'all. Unless I was seeing things.
Is he really? Wow.
Did you see that, or am I imagining things?
No, I think you're telling the truth. Alabama
judge just didn't make a ruling.
Yeah, he's free to move about the cabin after Greg Sankey sent a letter coming out against him. Greg Sankey literally is a eunuch, an SEC eunuch.
I've seen a lot of tension on these boards, Tony. I've seen Lady Vol fans ripping the Heupel, and then you see the Tennessee baseball fans ripping the Lady Vols.
Yep.
Is Danny White got a stable foundation over there, the way things are going?
Danny's done a really nice job of leadership. I think if I was a good leader, I would not communicate with people. I would live in secrecy. I would keep everything in a shroud. I would have coaches pointing fingers at each other. Yeah, he's done a really nice job.
I'll say this, though, Tony. If Aguilar's our quarterback next year and we have the same season, Heupel needs to find another job. See.
So we had our first Aguilar call of the day. Bino, see what we did there? We've introduced Aguilar into the conversation. By the way, so Alabama has the first ever bounce back player. Bino, will that be the last bounce back player in college basketball in your mind?
No, it absolutely will not, Tony. And I think this is likely the worst bag of worms that's been introduced.
Yep.
If this continues, you watch what happens in college baseball.
Yep. No question about that. 865-200-5402. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony and Zach, and John City here, E-Town. How you guys doing, Bino?
Hey, Zach.
What a weekend.
Doing good.
Hey, guys. Tony, you made a nice musical reference earlier. You said that Barnes, he can't create a pocket.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think he can create a pocket for the beat, steady, but he cannot improvise. He is not. I mean, he's got his system and his ways, so he can lay the beat down. But when it comes time to rip a solo off, he fumbles around. These last two games against Kentucky, where he has been absolutely smoked by Pope.
Yes.
You know that old song, "The Pope Smokes Dope." Well, the Pope smoked.
I've never heard that. Who made the Pope smokes dope? I've never heard that.
A guy named David Peel, who was like a John Lennon associate.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, it was a big deal in the 70s.
Pope smokes dope. Okay.
Yeah, but Pope smokes Barnes, and these last two halves, I don't know what the scoring differential is. I guess it's something. I guess it would be greater than 31 or no? We had a 14. Let's see, we blew leads of 17 and 14.
Blue leads at halftime. We blew leads of 11 and 14.
Jeez.
Okay,
but two 14-point leads essentially, because both. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
I was so mad the other night. I apologize because I was just mad after the game. It kept me up all night. It's one of the reasons I don't like these late night tips. It messes with my family routine. The two things that is yes, a mint inbounding the ball. I don't know if that's, and maybe you guys are better tacticians than I am. Is that supposed to be so that he's free, like he gets the ball in, and then that's kind of the theory behind that, is the inbounder is free to shoot after they inbound the ball.
Yes.
I would assume that's part of it, and his height is part of it as well.
How many times have we seen him get the ball back, Bino, for an opportunity? Would be my question.
Not many.
Not any. I've never seen him get the ball back.
Yeah.
Basically, what you're doing is you're taking your best scorer at this point in time, and you're making him inbound the ball, so he takes himself out of the play.
It's just such a regression.
It's dumb. It's really dumb. They keep doing it, though.
Yeah, it really is dumb. I mean, to the point where even, kind of a knucklehead like me can say, hey,
that's dumb.
And yes. I realize we all realized that early on in the year.
Yes.
It's just the inability to make a change. And then on the other hand, you got the Lady Vols who are trying to make too much change.
Yes.
It's just a bad way to approach this, and it really puts a stain.
Hey, Zach, that poor lady.
Yeah.
She's like, now you make a musical reference. She reminds me of somebody that kind of knows how to play a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But they play so fast, and they've got to get everything in, and it's just like, it's awful. Like what they're doing.
Yeah, they don't have any time.
Yeah, they
can't keep time.
She has that style of play she has against teams that can really play.
Mm-hmm.
She has zero chance of beating people. I'll tell you something. What they did is they went to school on her in the off season. You can see it, the halves.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets layups on them now. Everybody beats them down the court. Everybody gets easy shots, and everybody's figured their offense out now. The teams that can play. They just get swallowed in those games. They get swallowed.
And then the players once the avalanche starts to fall, the players almost kind of I don't ever say they give up, but there's nothing they can do because they know it's coming.
That's what she said. She said they give up, and she basically said. She said that my team's a bunch of quitters, and I would say to her, why don't you play a style of play that doesn't put them in that spot to quit?
Well, it was such a thing. Like last year, we had the win over. UConn last year. It just, but like you said, it's kind of like somebody that it's like a rookie. It's like a rookie hitter that comes up and maybe, hits 380 or 400 their first couple months until pitchers start figuring it out. But this thing with Barnes and losing to Kentucky and in the fashion that we've lost, I wish I could. Kentucky is a mid-level team, but so are we. They just have some more history. I mean, they're living in the past, just as evidenced as those god-awful blue jean uniforms that they came out. And they should have just played in jorts the other night, Tony. If they're that bought into the bit, just play in jorts next time.
Put the Daisy Dukes on.
Oh yeah,
and let it go, brah. Let it go.
Yeah, that would be a great look for Pope instead of his blue jean suit.
Hey, thank you, my man. Good talk.
All right, guys.
Bino, did I send you that? I haven't sent you those texts yet, have I, Bino? I need to send them to you.
I hadn't seen anything yet, Tony.
This Ament inbounding the ball beats everything, though. Matt, if you go back and you listen to what we did on a pre-roll, what we're doing these days, I don't know why we're doing it, but we started doing it, and it's kind of, at the end of games, we'll watch the last 45 seconds together, and I'm just keeping it on the tape. We hit the tape, and Matt's in here, Bry's in here. The other night, it was Matt, Bry, Al, myself. And we're responding to what's going on late, or we're just talking about how we're going to set the show up and what we're doing. But the other night, the game was the game, and it was very tight. It was very nerve-wracking and the whole deal. And they come out of that break, and Matt screams, he's got Ament inbounding the ball again. This Nate Ament guy is a great player. He's getting ready to explode. You can see it coming. Now, I predict that Saturday night he's going to go for 35-plus against LSU. He's going to give them a whole box, big old box of chocolates, okay? I really believe that. I think he's going to have a huge night against LSU. Inbounding the ball is not his forte. He's not comfortable doing it. He doesn't like doing it. He ran the baseline one time when he couldn't. If you remember that turnover, he's turned the ball over multiple times doing it. He almost turned the ball over with Estrella the other night. He threw a bad inbounds pass that Estrella had to stretch and go get. Why are they doing that? I mean, they're stubborn and then they're stupid. Bino or Bry, can you guys give me one reason why they're continuing to inbound the ball with him?
I cannot, Tony.
Because he never gets it back. It isn't like they're running a two-man game and he inbounds it and he gets it back and, boy, he sticks a three. And put it to you this way. Now, Bino, I don't know if you'll agree with this, but nobody's ever going to accuse Rick Barnes of being Bruce Pearl on inbounds plays.
No, I agree with that. 100%.
Pearl was one of the best in the deal at it. The inbounds plays. And Barnes' inbounds plays are throw the ball in. Or, this year, not even throw the ball in. Maybe throw the ball in. With this poor Ament guy, who is a wonderful player, but I don't want to use that term that baseball people don't like you using, and golf people don't like hearing that term either. But that's what this guy has when it comes to inbounding the ball. And they're making him do it over and over again. Bradley's, ladies and gentlemen, in your Basilio show, it's just a Knoxville tradition. Now look, Bradley's for forever and ever is Bradley's Chocolate. Now they've grown. They've got 2 locations. They've got one North Peters Road where they've been forever, and they've got another one on Biddle Farms Road, Boulevard, in beautiful Farragut, next to You're as Sweet as Tupelo Honey. And let me tell you something. Chocolate-covered strawberries are available on the 13th and 14th. That means Friday, Rice fans, and Saturday, Rice fans, right? And let me tell you something. They're hand-dipped. They're fresh. They're delicious. You will taste the difference. They are unbelievable. And the chocolate-covered popcorn there, Brian, tell them how good the chocolate-covered popcorn is. Brad told on himself to me today.
I've eaten 2 of the biggest bags they sell.
You can't, once you get that
biggest,
stuff.
The large bag, I've eaten 2 of them. And it doesn't take me most of a day to eat one of them either.
I FaceTime with my brother Steve last night. He's a special needs guy. He's 4 years older than me, and he lives in kind of a group home. And we had people over here. We were watching the game, and we baked cookies for him. And I wanted to show him on the FaceTime that we were baking cookies for him. He was all fired up, focused, and prepared. But during one of our conversations, I mentioned to Steve Bradley's chocolate-covered popcorn, and he won't quit talking about it now to me. He's got the chocolate-covered popcorn on his mind. And I asked him last night, I said, Steve, how many cookies do you want Laura to make you? And he said, 50 cookies. And I said, Steve, are you going to share the cookies with Mildred and, the people there at the home that take care of those guys? And he said, no. And Bino's been around, Steve. Bino knows. Bino saw Steve at a record store when Steve was out there looking at 45s, and a guy came over and started looking through the 45s next to him. And my brother grabbed the guy's arm and said, no. He fended the guy off. My brother just doesn't know any better, but God bless him. He's a sweetheart. Bradley's Chocolate, ladies and gentlemen, they're incredible. I love them. Bradley's Gift and Home. Bradley's Gift and online at shopbradleys.com. 865-200-5402. Your thoughts on what we witnessed over the weekend. I would describe Kentucky as mid. I would describe the Vols' execution down the stretch last night, or the other night, as mid. I would describe the Lady Vols and what they're doing as mid. I would describe the Super Bowl last night from a watchability standpoint as mid. I would say that the commercials during the game were kind of unmemorable and sort of mid. I would say that our first, hour and 20 minutes today have been sort of mid. As we continue with more on a mid-Monday after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years. 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too. Both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is here. Is your heating system ready and running efficiently? Don't wait to find out. A simple tune-up now can help prevent costly breakdowns when you need your heat the most. Right now, Pipe Wrench is offering a $79 heating system tune-up to keep your home warm, safe, and worry-free all winter long. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune every part of your heating system for maximum efficiency and comfort, helping you avoid surprise breakdowns and high energy bills. And with Pipe Wrench Home Service's same-day service guarantee, you won't be left out in the cold waiting for help. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $79 heating system tune-up today at pipewrench.com before winter decides to test your heater. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. For standard systems only, visit pipewrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall, the best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show has taken off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn and the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home. See our website, shopbradleys.com.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Tony B back with you, 865-200-5402. So we got a super chat in from Bry, help me with this. BREININC. And it's a Kentucky fan. And he has the following. Mr. Basilio, by the way, Mr. Basilio, that's my father. You can call me Tony. Or you can call me whatever you guys call me on your boards.
Not on the air, they can't.
What do you think Kentucky would have to do in the next, say, 3 to 5 years of the program not to be mid? Well, Breen Inc., how about not do what you're doing? How about be a program that people talk about when they talk about the top of college basketball? When is the last time Kentucky was thought of as an elite program and talked about the way Florida's talked about the way the Gonzagas of the world are talked about, the way the Kansases, the Houstons of the world are talked about, the way the Vols have been talked about over the last several years? I mean, I hate to say this, but y'all remind me of Tennessee football when it went through the wilderness all those years. Great history, no doubt about it. Incredible fan base. The way your fan base drugged me the other night over the coals and had so much fun with me is so appreciated by me. You have no idea. Unfortunately, your team doesn't back it up. Your team blows, man. I mean, you've got a refugee from Florida back there playing point guard for you, pretending to be a point guard, and you know that, and I know that. And he's an okay college basketball player. He's all right. Now, Breen, do you Do you believe that your team's going to get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament this year? Because I don't. And I haven't seen the draw. We laid down and died in your building the other night, and it was still a one-possession game late because you guys couldn't make a layup. You couldn't make a layup. If that isn't mid, what is it? Hey, no offense to like women's basketball, but that's what that game looked like the other night. And no offense to women's basketball. I'm not ripping women's basketball. But it was both teams, it was one missed layup after another. Breen in North Carolina said, I think we're the Dallas Cowboys. That's pretty good. I think that's right. I think you're dealing in honesty. Your fan base doesn't want to hear that. Let me tell you something. In the NHL, that's what my Philadelphia Flyers are. My Philadelphia Flyers have a great following based on what they did 50 years ago. 50 years ago. And they have cool colors, and you guys have a great tradition, no question. As Tom Hammond used to say, now let's stand or let's pause for the greatest 45 seconds in sports, the singing of My Old Kentucky Home. When him and Larry Conley was on every night. Larry Conley would do like 9 games in 5 days when he was flying on the Concorde. But Bino, the bottom line is if Kentucky isn't mid right now, what are they, Bino? They're mid. They've been doing an Elite Eight. I mean, since I don't know when. When's the last time they went to an Elite Eight? Have you done it in the 20s? In the 2020s?
2019.
Jays, guys. And we've been in the NIL era for how many millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars have we spent at Kentucky basketball? Who's getting less of a bang for the buck? The Lady Vols with the number 3 payroll in the deal, or Kentucky this year with the number 2 payroll in the deal? And their guy out-coached our guy the other night. Good night. Bino, lay it on me. Kentucky basketball, when you think about them right now, do you think of them as an elite program right now? And then we'll go back to the phones.
No, I don't think they're an elite program right now, Tony. Of course, a lot of it is in comparison with their past.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't feel like they're an elite program right now.
And I love their fan base, by the way. I'm not like
great
Matt.
Following. Maybe
love it.
Maybe the most devoted following of anyone.
I love and respect how
sport.
you all celebrate the sport. You celebrate the whole sport too, not just yourself. I love that. Y'all love college hoops. I love it.
They've been to one Sweet 16 since 2019, and they got, you know what happened when they got there.
And I'll tell you this right now. The day that I came to love Kentucky basketball is when I learned a lesson. About 15 years ago, we used to do bus trips all the time, Bruce Pearl years. And I'll be brief because I know we got phone calls. But we took a bus trip down to, and Bino knows the true story, but I think Bino was with us that day. Hey, Brian, we took a trip, Brian Inc., or whatever your name is, we took a trip down to Nashville or over to Nashville. I have a habit of saying down to Nashville. I don't know. I'm geographically challenged, always have been. But I told everybody on the bus, I said, look, it's us and LSU today. We're the curtain jerker here. We're the opening match here. It was the opening game of the tournament back in the old format. Might have been before the other two teams joined the league. So it was the first game of the tournament. I think it was a Friday afternoon at noon. Would that have been right, guys, or would that have been Thursday?
Yeah, that would have been when there
Friday.
were 12 teams in the league before Missouri.
Thank you, Brian.
Were added.
Thank you,
Brian.
Brian.
I think it was the Thursday, first game on Thursday.
First game on Thursday, we took a bus down. I told everybody, I said, look, these seats are upstairs in Bridgestone, but it doesn't matter. We'll be able to move around. So we get there and we start sitting down. And one Kentucky fan after another shows up. Finally, this lady shows up for my seat. I said, ma'am, you guys don't play till tomorrow night. What are you doing here? And she looked at me like I had 5 eyes, and she said, I love college basketball. And I said, enough to watch these two teams play? Because we were kind of not good, and LSU was not good. And Bino, that's how much they love college basketball. Not just their team. They love college basketball.
No, that's right, Tony. That's right.
Well, one correction. That team you went to see, Tennessee, was in the Elite Eight. They made their first ever Elite Eight that year. So I think Tennessee was pretty good. Just the scheduling, the way the tournament was set up, they should have had a bye, but they had to play Thursday.
Section
yeah, I mean,
one,
you used to call the SEC tournament the Kentucky Invitational.
And I see why. I see why. Plus, they used to win it all the time, right, Bino, back in the old days before Barnes started winning it.
Won it a lot, but you know, until Arkansas came into the league,
yep.
Kentucky fans just dominated. They dominated the crowd wherever it was played.
So I don't like Kentucky, but I respect the hell out of how much their fans love the sport of college basketball. I can say that. I respect that. Like when you see them have a tournament somewhere, I don't know, like back in the day when you'd play these events like overseas or wherever, they'd bring like several thousand people. I remember one time, Bino, they played in Europe somewhere during the Patino years, and they had like 5,000 people in the stands. Wouldn't it be nice, Kentucky fan, if you had a program that was worth watching like that? That was commensurate with your fervor for it? Because y'all are mid. Y'all blow. And see, Bino won't say this, but I will. The thing that pisses me off about losing 7 of 8 to you guys in this little stretch here is y'all suck. Y'all blow. And we can't beat you. So in a way, I'm kind of like, and that's why I'm good at what I'm doing, good in what I do, because I'm complimenting you. You got an incredible fan base. Your team blows. You deserve better. Let's go back to the phones. All right. So Lisa Coleman says Tennessee has no basketball history. Lisa, we are like you. We deserve a lot more. We deserve a lot more here. We've always deserved a lot more. We had a game 2 weeks ago where our administration told the concessionaires to stay at home. They weren't expecting anybody to show up, and 17,000 people showed up on a Saturday night where it snowed 5 inches in our town. It was a night where most restaurants around the area were closed, and the parking was limited due to the snow that was on the ground, and 17,000 people showed up. And it was 8 degrees that night. So, yeah, guilty as charged. The fact that we've never made a Final Four is indefensible, Bino. I will not defend that when Kentucky fans come at me for that. Yes or no, Bino? I can't defend that. Will you defend that, Bino? I'm not going to fight for that.
No, I can't defend that, Tony.
I mean, when they say to us, when they say to me, you haven't been to a Final Four ever, I'll say to them, you haven't been to an Elite Eight. You are correct. You are correct. And you haven't been to an Elite Eight since we had something called the coronavirus. Okay? Or COVID-19. So, let's go back to the phones. 865-200-5402. The thing that I love about the Kentucky-Tennessee rivalry is, and I said this in the first hour, and this is true, and I was laughing with Jennifer Morris about this yesterday, is that we're the same people. We're basically the same people. That's why we fight like hell with each other. We're like family members, Bino, with bad blood with each other. We know how to get it on with each other, don't we?
We, without question, have much more in common with the Kentucky fan base than any other fan base in this league. And I'm not sure there are any other two fan bases in this league that have more in common than Kentucky and Tennessee fans do.
Back to the phones we go.
Just those Appalachian roots. We're going to choose up sides.
Choose up sides. And we're going to go, Daddy, go with each other. We're going to throw hands.
Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah, Hatfields and McCoys. Very good, Bino. Let's go to the phones. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, speaking of which,
one of our infamous Vol cats, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. He's fighting with himself.
Yep. Hey, Philip's gotten so frustrated with me sometimes, Bino. He's thrown it down on me, called me every name in the book, but he keeps coming back.
Tony, hey, there's one thing I haven't done. I have not called you names to your face. Okay, at least I have enough. I have enough class to do it behind your back.
Hey, Philip, those Kentucky fans and some of the texts I got after that game the other night, and they think they're aggravating me, and they're making me laugh like crazy, man, because my sense of humor is so dark.
Well, Tony, some of the calls that you played, that was some great radio, man. I mean, I about wet myself because I laughed so dang hard hearing some of those morons.
Total morons.
But Tony, I got to tell you, if I were to pick up if I never called before, never listened to your show, and you are the show of record and by far the best in Knoxville and the area, and you know that. I've always said that. With that being said, if I was listening today for the very first time, you would think that Tennessee has won national championships.
Yep.
That they've won Final Fours.
Yep.
That they've been to more than 3 or 4 Final Eights in the history of the program.
Yep.
Tony, until you get to the Final Four, I don't care how many tournaments you make, and if you've gone to Final Eights 2 years in a row, you're not an elite basketball program, and you're just not. I mean, you win that Final Four or get in it, then you could talk. But right now, Tennessee is not. Are we the elite program right now? No, I totally agree with you on that. But to think Tennessee is an elite program, that's a stretch. You get in the Final Four, that's when you can say stuff. But until then,
we're multiple times.
You're a good program.
We've held the number one spot multiple times in the last several years in the poll.
How many Final
We've
Fours?
played at the top of the
How many
sport.
Final Fours?
We just had a streak of being in the top 25.
But Final,
a couple
Tony,
hundred, literally a couple hundred weeks, Philip. A couple hundred.
Final
Philip,
Fours, Tony.
We've been at the very top of the sport at the very time that you guys can't even scratch an Elite Eight.
But you can't get to the Final Four. That Final Eight
smoked you.
In all seriousness, how many Final Eights in the history of the program?
Smoked you mono a mono last year.
Kentucky
on the big stage. The big stage, we smoked you. All you have is your past. All you have is your past.
So, Tony. Well, if all we have is our past, then you have nothing because you've not won anything. So you can't be an elite program.
We've played at the very top of the sport. No. Bino, have we been an elite program here during the Rick Barnes era, yes or no?
No.
Bino?
Come on.
I guess it depends on what you guys have different definitions of elite. I think Tennessee has had among the strongest programs in America from the time that Bruce Pearl came here, with that little break in between he and Barnes. But we're not a blue blood program.
No, but that's okay.
We're not.
But we've been playing.
We're not in the stratosphere of Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, North Carolina. We just haven't been there.
But we've been playing at the top of the sport.
We've been playing at the top of the
Thank
sport
you.
for a number of years.
And you guys haven't.
But hold on.
And you guys haven't.
Hey, Tony, and Biano, baby, if you play at the top of the sport, that means you win championships.
That's
Until
not
you
what
win
that
a
means.
championship, you're
No,
not
that's
playing
not what
at the
that
top of the
means.
sport.
No, that's not what that means. We're like an NBA basketball team that's won 60 games multiple times.
That hasn't won the championship.
We just have trouble in the playoffs. We have trouble getting out of the second round. We're like my 76ers. A lot of loud regular season wins. But here's the truth.
I think we're a very, very solid basketball program that's short of elite.
And by the way, Salty
That's
Vol,
what I would agree with you
Salty
about.
Vol puts it best.
I would agree with you on that.
The problem with Kentucky right now, Philip, over the last several years is you guys are not a serious program. You turned yourself over.
I agree with you on that because Mitch Barnhart, he's awful.
Calipari turned you guys into an NBA halfway house. Before even that was cool. Before the NIL made the game total transient, you were doing transients when it wasn't cool.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. I mean, you've always said once a coach gets to, no matter the sport, gets to that 10-year mark, that's when it's time to go.
Yes.
I mean, that's when.
And Barnes is getting there. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Cal got there. Yes.
So, one, I love arguing with you, man, because I love you, brother. So, here's the question I have, and I'll get off here.
All right.
So, I saw today that I don't know if they've announced it, but the weekend starters, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday starters.
Yeah.
When I get off here, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about that because I've not heard anyone talk about it. Take care, boys.
Tennessee staff, and we're going to bring our boy in, Willie, the chef, tomorrow, along with Matt Diskin, because I want to do a little baseball stuff. Tennessee staff is excellent this year. They're high-end. They're going to be elite. Brian, just like Lady Vol softball is elite. How about that Lady Vol softball team, Brian? Are they elite or are they elite?
Well, they played 5 games over the weekend. They won all 5. Their pitching staff allowed just 2 runs, only 1 earned.
Yes.
And Pickens only pitched in 2 of the 5 games. So they've got some pitching depth they're trying to build. They do have some around her.
Yep.
And that included they're winning, one of those wins was over, I think, 4th-ranked Oregon or 5th-ranked Oregon.
And you don't think Carlin Pickens is one of these beautiful Tennessee gals, Bino? I mean,
this team could win the whole thing.
If that gal was a stock, I'd buy her. They're number 2 only to the team that, and it's really obnoxious, but the team that
Texas Tech.
The team that why is his name escape me? Mahomes and Brittany have purchased down there, and they sit in the box like they're the club owners. So annoying. Can we I want to beat them, man. I want Texas Tech in the squared circle, mano a mano. And I want Carlin Pickens to get us over the top. A very, very astute comment from Lisa, who says Tennessee sucks. Lisa Coleman has now come back with Tennessee sucks at the end of all that discourse, Bino. See, that's why people listen to this show, for intelligent conversation. As we continue with more on the other side, I'm with Bino. We lost twice to Kentucky. It feels like we've lost 8 games. It feels like Barnes just lost us 8 games. And no offense to Barnes, but he did not adorn himself in glory in either one of those 2 losses. No offense. Amen. Hallelujah. And I didn't do it. But we will do some overtime on the other side of this. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexio Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Connexio builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the /1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexio.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexio, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
It's unbelievable. It's outstanding, ladies and gentlemen. It's a movement shaking the nation, shaking lakes and rocking docks and all that good stuff. Without further ado, the playbook with William Pattison on the way next. We love you. We appreciate you. We thank you. We support you.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
And I want to remind you, ladies and germs, that tomorrow the great Russell W. Smith and William Pattison are going to emanate their program live. That means they're going to be on location, doing their thing. Smoky Mountain Brewery, beautiful Turkey Creek. It's going to be absolutely outstanding. Greatly looking forward to that. And if you've never been to Smoky Mountain Brewery, you're in for a real treat. But they're going to have some station swag, all kinds of great giveaways, all kinds of stuff. Get out there and support those folks. You support them, you're supporting us. You support us, you're supporting them. You support them, you're supporting us. And Calhoun's and the Copper Cellar family of restaurants simply are the best. Now, Brad was asking me today over there, what about doing some kind of watch party? And I think we ought to do a joint one with Dubsy. Bino, don't you think a joint watch party would be fun? And do you think people would show up to that or no, Bino, with this basketball team and how crazy they make me?
Oh, I think they'd absolutely show up, Tony. No question.
And
you might not show up, but the rest will.
People are really over this. We Ship Floors Allen says that the guy's name is Rick Franklin. He's like James Franklin. He wins enough, but not enough. They're just not going to get when you look at it, Bino, when you judge everything by the tournament, it's just so random. This guy has lived at the top of college hoops. Hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
And I'm forever indebted to the guy for that. Aren't you forever indebted to the guy for that?
I am, Tony. You know, I prefer a more offensive brand of basketball than Rick Barnes' teams play.
Yep.
But he's been as successful here as anyone that we've ever had in this program. Now, the only thing that I ever say to Barnes detractors is just be real careful what you wish for. Be careful.
We learned that the hard way. Turn on your heart light. Let it shine wherever you go. By the way,
I'll say this for Danny White too, Tony. If your sources are correct, I like the guy he leans to when the time comes.
Well, he likes two guys. He likes Buckyball. Loves Buckyball. Buckyball's Kim Caldwell. In immense form. He loves him, and he loves the guy from St. Louis. Those are his two guys he loves.
Shirts is the one I would want. Shirts is the one that I would covet.
You're going to be shirts
when
over
the time comes.
You're going to be shirts over skins?
Yes, I go shirts over skins.
By the way, shout out to, make no mistake about it, the great Jennifer Morris, who Laura and I have been dealing with something, and she's been walking us through it, and Hold My Hand, Hootie and the Blowfish, but she's Next move, SmokyMountains.com with Keller Williams. She's incredible. I love her. Now, I got to get, and we've got to give away some chocolate-covered strawberries in milk or dark white chocolate. Milk, hang on. Milk or white chocolate, yeah. They're so good. Bradley's is so unbelievably good. Oh, my gosh. And the great thing is you go now to Gift and Home, and they got everything. But we'll go back to the phones. Brian, how are we going to give away chocolate-covered strawberries today? Just randomly do it? Between now and 30 past when I'm getting out of here? I'm getting out of here because I'm going to go get out in the sun. No offense to you clowns.
Just take the, I guess, third caller, second caller.
No, I can't do that, bro. There's already people on hold.
Well, whoever's on hold, well, just pick one of them. Whoever's on line 2 gets one. If they're local.
Bino, have we been too negative today on these basketball programs, or do we have a right to be urinated off?
Like I told you, Tony, I have to pull back the reins on myself to not go overboard when we lose to Kentucky. It's dumb. I just hate to lose to them in anything, anywhere, anytime. And every time we do, I always let my anger overcome the view of the remainder of the season if I'm not careful.
We've had
I did it the first time. I thought, well, we suck. We're not going to win. We're not going to win 8 games in conference. And I'm not going to do that again this time.
No. The Vols are going to rattle off a bunch of wins here. That's not the point. The point is those losses are stupid.
That's the great point. Kentucky teams, I get it. But those Kentucky teams, this Kentucky team.
That's right, Brian.
Absolutely maddening.
Because y'all belong.
There's no question about it.
Y'all should
think last year's team's better than this year's team, and we did the same thing. Not in the same method, but we did the exact same thing until it mattered. Until it mattered more. They all matter. Until it mattered more.
And to the Kentucky fan listening, if we play you again in the NCAA tournament this year, we'll beat you. We'll beat you in the NCAA tournament. You better hope and pray that you don't get us again in the squared circle. Because we going to get you. Get you. Let's go back to the phones.
Tony had someone tell me that, they heard Barnes's comments after the Kentucky game, and it just didn't seem to matter to them like it does us. And I don't, I think they hate to lose any game. Those competitors, coaches, players, they're out there. But they haven't grown up in this rivalry, and that one game doesn't mean as much to them as it does to us. That they don't think of losing to Kentucky. It doesn't hurt any worse than losing to Ole Miss, because they're not. This program isn't ingrained in their heart and soul. I don't know if that means they're wrong or we're wrong, but that's just the way it is.
I've been selected for 24 golf balls absolutely free, guys. They want me to call.
What do you have to do?
I have to call now to redeem. Should we do that as part of our third hour? Get my golf balls? I got to ask my boy Byron Williams of Byron's Corner on Thursday. Hey Byron, is this some kind of scam wow thing? Like the ShamWow guy, or is this Scam Wow?
There's a hook. Ain't nobody giving you nothing.
You would never be able to hit him where you want him anyway, Tone. The way you play golf.
Poor Kentucky. You guys are not Kansas. You're not Duke. You're not even North Carolina anymore. And North Carolina right now, they are midder than mid. But even they went to a Final Four a couple years ago. Duke beat them. Y'all are midder than mid. Y'all are like, if y'all were a taste right now, you'd be like Rolaids or something. Kaopectate. Y'all don't even taste good. Y'all are mid. Y'all are like a piece of stale bread. It's kind of what you are. It's not moldy yet, but it's just there. Dip it in your soup and hope to kill the taste. No offense. Let's go to the phones. Because I do respect you, and I respect your tradition, but God, the product you have right now. Billy Clyde Gillespie thinks you're mid. Gah! Let's go to the phones. And for the record, I like Bad Bunny's performance. I thought he was good. It spoke to me. Not really, but I like how people are saying it spoke to him. I think that's kind of this country's really funny. It spoke to you. Don't understand a word he said. It spoke to me. I saw people online saying, "Yeah, it spoke to me. It's art. It spoke to me." You didn't understand a word they said. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
How my French compatriots doing today?
W. Lynn.
Tony, it was great to see you and the lovely Laura at Mike Carver's celebration alive.
I love Mike Carver. And what a great family.
I went to the service and everything. It was a emotionally draining weekend, but it was also great. It was a celebration of Mike's great life.
Yep.
You know, and he's got a great family, and I got to talk to them a lot, and you know, it was those pictures of Mike, man. He had some good pictures going around, didn't he? That was up on the screen.
Carver lived life to the fullest, as a great John
Boy,
Bon
he
Jovi
did.
once said. Yes, he did.
But rest in peace, Mike. I know you're up there watching us. Tony, this basketball team, and Bino, my dad told me this, and my father-in-law both, that the older we get, if you get too invested in a sport or a game, it does tear you up more. And my dad and my father-in-law both learned to kind of what you just said. You just kind of got to move on. You can't get too tore up about it. But Bino and I saw Kentucky go to the damn tournament 12 times when we were like the number 2 team and we couldn't go, you know. So us old people have a different view of it, you know, and it's tough, but I got a thing to say about, I don't understand Ament throwing the ball in. Paul Westhead was nutty about a lot of the stuff he did, but I learned one thing from him, and I used it in coaching and playing intramurals, and we won a league title. When the opponent makes a basket, catch the thing if you can before it hits the ground. But whoever's the closest, get the thing, go out of bounds, and throw it to a guard or somebody that can dribble. We let the ball go through the bucket. Somebody gets it. Then they throw it to Ament. Sometimes he throws it to the referee. The referee... Well, by that time, the team's got the press set up. Just grab the ball and throw it into somebody that can dribble. Does that make sense to you guys?
Absolutely.
Perfect sense.
Because I used to tell guys, you can run a fast break off a made basket because the team relaxes for a split second. But the way we do it, they're all set up and ready for us by the time we throw it in. And I think it was that Georgia game. Is that the game where the referee kept showing us his behind, going to review everything? I can't think of the referee's name.
Oh,
Adams.
Pat Adams, yep.
Yeah. That was with 6 seconds, 0.6 on the clock.
Yes.
They gave it to a man. And my brother, Hall of Fame inductee for officiating, Phil Hatcher, taught me to count with my arm, 5 seconds. A man threw that ball right after the 4th second. I mean, if some referee had been down there counting a little fast, they would have given it to Georgia, who could have caught and shot.
He's so uncomfortable, guys, throwing the ball in.
Yeah.
He's
and I just don't get it.
He's got the thing on him when it comes to throwing the ball in, and they keep putting it in his hands. And the thing about him is, it's the only thing he can't do on the floor because it's his kryptonite, because he literally is Superman in every other way. Everything else he does out there, he does with such freedom and with such confidence. But when he throws that ball in, that is the one hole in his game that he has, and they keep doing it to him.
I don't get it. Just grab it. Whoever's down there, grab it and throw it in. That's all you got to do, man. But
I got
we
another
got
question.
Gillespie.
Is Pat Adams traveling with us? Is he?
I don't know.
Show.
So funny, Bino. We bring him, we bring our own officials with us. Pat Adams every night.
But also, we got Gillespie and we got a man, and it does kind of remind you of the old Ernie Burney days. But in this day and age, you can't have a Doug Ashworth and a Johnny Darden out there getting 2 or 3 points between them, like we did with Ernie and Burney. Am I asking too much into saying that Estrella, Carey, and Okpara combined should get 30 points and 15 rebounds?
Estrella,
yeah, that's probably too many points.
Carey,
they should get 15 rebounds.
They do get the rebounds.
Yeah,
they do that.
What we don't have, W. Lynn, is Mike Jackson to go along.
Yeah, you're right. We don't have a Mike Jackson, and I'm looking at the roster.
That Mike Jackson.
He was one of probably
Michael
the most
Jackson.
Unappreciated player. I mean, he gets 17, 18 a game.
Well, he played 40 years ago. So.
But who would you say is our third best player right now? I'm looking at the roster trying to figure it out.
Third best player, Bino. Who is it? Because I think
Third
we had
best offensive player.
I think we had 4 best bench points the other night. Zach's pointing out, which is accurate, by the way. Our point guard
Third
had
best
all
offensive
point.
player is Estrella.
Third best.
And
yeah, that's
offensive player,
kind of how I listed it. Would you say our bottom 2 are Berg and Henderson?
Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you this about poor Estrella the other night. I want to believe that he played the game with 103-degree fever. I really, I want an explanation. But W. Lynn, thank you. I want an explanation for that game from him. Wouldn't you like to have an explanation, being like something to explain how you can look like that? Because he was no offense. I've had days in here where I can't get my words out of my mouth and just do everything wrong. He had one of those nights here tonight. It was atrocious the way he played. Poor guy. But as bad as he was, you guys said Mike Jackson, and I said it's so stupid. And times like that, you're just like, why am I sitting in here? I know you go back to Marietta and you go, what? The guy is a total imbecile. And you're forgiven, Bino, for saying things like that about me.
I don't say that to Marietta, Tony. I say them to you from time to time, but not to Marietta.
Bino, Nega Dave the other night, his call was absurd. How overreacting he is. And I got on here today and overreacted. There's something about that Kentucky thing that makes me overreact, Bino.
I understand. I completely
because they
understand.
really, really suck, and their fan base is really angry. I'll tell you what they are too. They're a bunch of yellow labs because they want you to tell them how great they are. But y'all, you know what you have? You have a team that has a bloated payroll that doesn't play. Y'all are overpaid. Kentucky basketball this year. If y'all were in women's never mind. Bri, who are they in the NBA? Bloated payroll. It's described so many NBA teams that they get nothing out of.
The Clippers, maybe?
Clips. Y'all have a bunch of James Hardens who just got traded. Cleveland just traded like a living, breathing basketball player for him. The Garland kid. James Harden was washed 4 years ago. Yeah, James Harden, he's a solution. You talk about the most unlikable Philadelphia 76er I've ever seen. I hate that guy. I hated watching him. I hate him. I hate what he stands for. I hated him. No offense. Awful teammate, awful player, fraudulent, awful, loser, awful, will never win, awful, loser. How about Sam Darnold being on his 5th NFL team winning a Super Bowl?
Yeah, good for him. And I thought he played pretty well. They didn't ask him to do a whole lot, but he certainly, and he was under pressure quite a bit. He certainly performed better than May did. Boy, May was lost.
May got swallowed last night. May had no chance. When you can't block, when 5 can't block 4 in the NFL, you got no chance. Zero chance.
When your left tackle can't play dead, which I think he's a rookie, so I'm sure he'll be better. But he was about as ready for the Super Bowl as me.
Looked like a kid from LSU out there, Bino, in the bowl game. Total turnstile. Go back to our phones. 865.
He was rushing a quarterback backwards.
Poor guy. Poor May, though. May's a good competitor. Made some plays with his feet. Seattle, too physical, too much. No game. No way.
One play where Seattle was literally engaged with the offensive lineman and sacked May at the same time he was still engaged with their offensive lineman.
Yep. Like Bino said, he just shoved him
two
backwards.
Players at once.
Yes. Total physical domination. By the way, how many teams in the NFC could have beaten that Patriots team the other night? That's how much better the NFC was than the AFC this year. We knew that all year when you follow the sport. I would say that pool of teams probably goes 3 or 4 deep that would have beaten that team. When Brian's Jaguars got put out, that was the only chance that the AFC had of beating the NFC this year. Any of those NFC teams that were in the playoffs.
I know they broke into Sweet Caroline last night, and I hope the next time I hear that there's another New England team getting beat 22-7 when they cranked that thing up yesterday.
865-200-5402. Back to the phones. We have an argument breaking out in the chat as to the depth of Bad Bunny's music. I mean, look, I'm not going to argue and say something's not what it is or whatever, but watching people mimic around to a track, and I do think, by the way, for the record, I've heard that kid sing, and he can actually sing a little bit. But miming around to a track, I mean, it reminds me of watching like the 80s American Bandstand. You know, when you put your mic down, or when you forget to say something and it comes out of the speaker. You know, when you go to a concert now, people that play music know this, but tracks are always playing. And I haven't decided if it's cheating or not. It's been going on for a long time. But what you're seeing is it's played to a click track is what it's called in some cases. And in some cases, it's more than a click track. But what it does is it locks the group in so that they cannot improvise. Basically, you're seeing the same show every night. You're just locked in. And that, when I watched that guy last night, and that production's incredible, what they do at the Super Bowl. All the choreography and all the scenes and all the scenes from where the guys run in Puerto Rico. You know, and including all the different ages. I get all that. It's neat. You know, it's fine. Whatever. But I would 10 to 1 rather watch Green Day sing live as that, like Brian said. But that's just me. That's just me. You know? The click tracky stuff is kind of interesting. So 865-200-5402. But the Bad Bunny guy, the thing about him is, and this is what the NFL did what they did, and we have to recognize this, the NFL and the NBA, they're not looking to make a fan out of you. They've got you. The NBA's looking to open up China, which is what they've done. When my son was at the University of Pennsylvania, and he got to know these Chinese kids, but, you know, he said they would sit there and watch mid-season NBA basketball games literally like it was the 7th game of the World Series, like regular season NBA games. Like they would set their schedule around, hey, the Rockets are on tonight, or the some you know, like, when's the last time, Bino or Brian, you guys thought about a regular season NBA game besides flipping through the channels and there's one on and you look at it for 10 seconds and then go, oh my gosh, I can't watch this?
The halftime of Charles Barkley and Kenny and Shaq and that crew is about the only regular season NBA I want to see.
I love those guys. And even
my own team, I don't want to watch all 82 times.
And it's a shame. Even they've been somewhat affected by the ESPN dip. I can't explain it. But the Bad Bunny thing was about opening up Latin America. That's what the NFL is trying to do. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't pretend to know if it's going to work. But that's all that was about. That's all it was. It was, you know, and it's okay. That's what they're trying to do. Back to our phones we go. 865-200-5402. And here's my thing about it. My thing about it is the kid seems like a really good performer. He's the Taylor Swift of the rest of the world is what he is. Now, I don't know enough about him to know whether he writes his music or not. I haven't looked into, but I've heard him sing. That kid's got talent. That kid can sing now. That kid can sing. Let's go to the phones. We go to get our next call in, 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. It's Jason from Missouri. How are you guys today?
Jason in Missouri. Welcome to the show. Good to hear from you.
Well, first time calling, long time fan of you. But I'm going to admit something to you, and I don't know if you're still going out to your Knoxville audience or if you're going on to your own individual hour.
Yep.
I'm going to admit something honest.
Hit it.
I did not watch that game last night until 2 minutes left in the end of the game.
And why was that?
Honestly, because I didn't care. I'll be real with you. I didn't care.
Yep.
But I got into a YouTube thing, and this will lead up to what I'm going to call and ask you about. Got to watching John Ward, probably the best college football voice of all time.
Oh,
and this is coming from a Missouri Tiger.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, we've had Yeah, I mean, here in this football time in Tennessee is still like a neat thing to me.
That's so neat.
So that's cool. Yeah, I mean, like, then it went from there to Joe Kazana, to Bo James, to Ron Fuller, to all that. And it leads up to my point. What's going on with Kim Caldwell? Is she just unhappy? That looks like a woman. I work for a Walmart. If we have somebody do that in public, guess what we do to them, Tony? We discipline them, and if they do it again, they get fired. What's going on there?
You mean the comments? You mean the comments after the game?
Yeah. Yeah, that came up in my YouTube video stream last night, and I saw it just out of nowhere.
Isn't that funny when you go to I love YouTube. Like Laura accuses me. I find myself watching more YouTube than television these days because the algorithm just feeds it to you. You'll show interest in one thing, and it just treats you like a total dummy, and then you're like a hamster on a wheel after a while. You don't even know it's happening to you.
Right.
So you went down the rabbit hole last night. You started with John Ward.
Yes, I did. Yep. John Ward.
Yeah.
Joe Kazana, Bo James, Ron Ford, and then to Kim Caldwell. That's where it ended at last night.
You know, how many of them are you familiar with? John Ward, Kazana, Bo James, and Fuller. How many of them are you familiar with?
Huge wrestling fan. Being near St. Louis, Memphis, I know those stories.
All of them. So
you know all about James the Chase. Is like I know who they are.
You know all about the. How about you, Bino? How many of those names are familiar to you, Bino?
John Ward.
You know Kazana, Bino, right? From wrestling.
Oh, John Kazana.
John Kazana.
Yes. I guess his grandson. Tony, you know more about it than I do. Was Joe his son or his grandson?
I think you're thinking of the Kazana who was the and who was the guy, Bino, that was on the air back then who would say nobody in this town?
That's Big Jim Hess.
Big Jim Hess. So that was when Kazana
was a warp their head off hold.
And a warp your head off hold. Yep.
Yeah.
But Bo James is the king of Kingsport. I heard him on a podcast recently. I want to say it was either Stick to Wrestling or it was Bob Smith's podcast, who used to be with the editor of PWI. I don't know if you found Bob Smith, but it's called The Outdated Wrestling Hour. That's an
I've heard of it.
Excellent wrestling podcast. He's excellent. I love him.
Yeah. But it's just, I just really come back to my center here with her. You know, Kelly Harper from the Tigers is heading your way this week. Is this her death wish to lose to Kelly Harper in Knoxville and to get fired? I'm at a loss here because she seems like she don't want to be there. At least that's the visual interpretation I took from it.
She's not a very smiley and warm person to begin with. She's very prickly. She reminds me of Danny White. She's very prickly. She looks like she'd be a nice, warm kind of person to be, but she's really not. So we're all a little different. I don't know. Brian, those comments, I just can't get over calling your team a bunch of quitters after a game and basically divorcing yourself of what just happened. It just doesn't make any sense.
One thing I don't think we mentioned is she's married to someone who works on Rick Barnes' staff.
Yeah,
works with the men's program.
Oh,
but why would we mention that?
Makes sense.
But why would we mention that? I don't know what to do with anything.
Just sort of more of it just adds another little wrinkle to the whole thing.
Oh.
Well,
it's like a soap
I guess
opera.
because she's just there by association, right? Pretty much because of the marriage.
I don't know what she's there by, but she's. I don't know. I may have to apologize to John Adams, Abino, who asked the question at our initial press conference, which is, "You're not really going to play this way against the really great teams, are you? You're going to modify the way you play, right?" And she said, "No, I'm not modifying anything."
Where'd she come from, Tony?
I think a whole lot of people probably owe him an apology.
Including, well, yes, tell him you eviscerated him that one day on the show.
I ripped him, yeah.
That was kind of uncomfortable.
I called him an embarrassment. Told him he embarrassed the show. And I meant it, too.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
You just made me think of something. I don't know if you guys know much about. Now, I know you're a wrestling guy. Have you ever seen the Bad Bunny thing from him in Puerto Rico in WWE?
Yes. Of course, yes.
Oh, my God. That's insane. Yeah. I would love to walk into an arena and have that kind of response.
Dude.
For anything.
Dude, this guy.
That's insane.
This guy to those people. And here's the thing people have to understand about Puerto Rico. Because when I grew up in Pennsylvania, my dad was a mushroom farmer. And a lot of his workers were Puerto Rican people. So I was raised around those people. I knew the kids. I knew the families. I knew the whole. Puerto Ricans in the Latin American countries are seen as the redneck cousins. They've always been put upon. Mexican people put down Puerto Ricans. People from Central America put down Puerto Ricans. People in South America.
What a shame.
Well, it's true. Because they say they don't speak. They say they speak slang Spanish. They're not refined. They're like seen as rednecks almost. And this guy has elevated his people. This guy and the other guy, Willie Stargell, is another famous Puerto Rican. And was Roberto Clemente from there, Bino, or am I mistaken?
He was from Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he was from Nicaragua.
Clemente and Willie Stargell and this guy are the alpha Puerto Ricans out there.
Well,
I didn't realize Willie Stargell.
Yeah,
I never did either. That's something you learn. Good job teaching me something, Tony.
Carmelo Anthony's Puerto Rican, I think.
Who is? Carmelo Anthony?
Carmelo Anthony, I believe.
I'm going to look up Wilbur Darnell Stargell because I know he has stadiums named after him there. Now, I just assumed something. Let me see if he's Puerto Rican.
Clemente died in Nicaragua because when he died in the airplane crash, he was taking stuff back there after an earthquake. It was like a 1,000,000,000 kind of plane crash he died in. Like real odd how it happened.
He was on a mercy mission. You know what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Willie Stargell, in true Tony Basilio fashion, was born in Earlsboro, Oklahoma. So I was close.
Well, you tried, Tony.
Thank you, my brother.
That's what matters, right?
Good talking to you. Thank you.
Hey, something else, Tony, before you go.
Yeah.
Apple Music chooses that main event headliner for the Super Bowl. The reason why? That's been like a couple things with that because they picked Kendrick Lamar last year. They picked that because that's a circulation thing. I get people not liking him, but hold it where it's at. You don't have to love it, but Apple chose him. And unlike you, Tony, they picked him to go to Latin America.
And by the way, thank you, brother. And by the way, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to break into Latin American markets. That's all it is. Oh, man. We have a political argument like breaking out in our chat. Bino, the political polarization in our country is so, what's the word? Exhausting? Exhausting.
Yes.
It's just, to the rest of us, it's like this, look.
Tony, I know how selfish this is, but I've made it almost 70 years without worrying about that nonsense.
Yep.
I think I can make whatever I've got left without going there.
Back to the phones we go. One of my favorite things about sport has always been, and it used to really be this way before the Danny Whites got involved in it, but people from all classes and socioeconomics, statuses, and all religions and faiths and political parties laid it all down and went and cheered for the same team. In their team, their town, their volunteers. It's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things about sport. The community. And it will remain as long as I'm breathing. It's just, to me, it is a fascinating tool that brings us all together. Because when I was a kid, I used to think it was a good idea to mix politics and sports on a show. And now I just realize how kind of repulsive that is. Because here's the thing about political scene. You're going to have your viewpoint. I'm going to have mine. And in a perfect world, we'd be able to talk about it and see each other's point of view. But really what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it, we're going to label each other, and we're going to dislike each other for where we stand. So my theory here is to leave that stuff leave that stuff at the door and just come in and hang out for a couple hours and just talk and enjoy these sports we enjoy. And I'm back to this. My problem with the Bad Bunny thing yesterday is that it's just a bunch of lip syncing. It's not. And I've seen live videos. I went back on YouTube and said, can this guy perform live? And the answer is yes. He's very talented. Very charismatic and very talented. People, you can hate on Taylor Swift all you want. She's very prolific as a songwriter, maybe too prolific. She needs an editor because she has stuff that sees the light of day that ought to be left for the cutting room floor, but nobody, I guess, can tell her no. She's so powerful now. But she's extremely, extremely talented at speaking to her fan base. When you go see her play, it's like a religious experience. And look, I'm not a big U2 guy because I don't like all those delay pedals and that noise they have in their music. But Bono's the same way. There is a magnetism that guy has. There is a God-given thing. It's like when I saw Levi Stubbs sing, and I told Bino this one time. I saw him in 1986, which, doing the math, he's probably his mid-40s. And to me, he looked like an old man. I was 19 years old at the time. But I saw him in a little 3,000-seat, 4,000-seat theater, and they performed in the round, is how the stage would rotate. Bino, have you ever seen anybody in the round? You ever seen that before?
I have not.
So the stage would quietly... And it was called Valley Forge Music Fair, is where this place was, in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, which is about 20 minutes from where I grew up. And all these acts would go there. We would go watch all these great. But they had an orchestra with them there, playing live, a live band in a pit, in like an orchestra pit, like old school. And I mean, these guys were singing live. And it was scary how talented this guy was. And their harmonies. What a good thing I got. She mean a lot. I mean, and when he sung, it did something to your soul. And that's my thing with any of these performers. They've got the talent to do it. Sing live. That's all I'm saying. Sing live.
Levi Stubbs is the most underrated voice in the entire Motown era. In a galaxy of stars.
The power.
He may have had the best voice of all of them.
Bino, the power.
Yeah.
I mean, me and my brother Rich were looking at each other. I'll never forget that. When he sung Bernadette, and that wine was coming. He was singing it, and he was just pumping it out. I mean, damn. Taylor Swift's popularity. Taylor Swift is a very good songwriter. She writes catchy pop tunes. And listen, it's like what I do. If this was easy, it's like Randy Bachman.
I would do it.
That's right. That's right. We would all do it. It's like Randy Bachman said, if it were easy as fishing, you could be a musician. I dare anybody in this audience to sit down today and write a catchy pop song because she knows how to do it. And she's a damn good performer. Is she the best singer? No, not really. Is Bruce Springsteen the best singer? Not really. Does he write great songs? Yeah. Is it easy to write great songs? No. Does she perform 3 hours a night? Yeah. Does he? Yeah. Is that easy? No. So, we'll go back to our phones. 865-200-5402. Yeah, and I watched a little Kid Rock thing last night because I'm a musical person. I wanted to see what he was doing. And he lip-sank his first, the hip-hop song that he's famous for. He lip-sank that because he was putting his mic down, and the lyrics were still going out. So he was doing the track thing. And then the second song, they came back to him, and he played that song about, it was a really nice song about till you can't, or till you won't, or till you can't. Something about, living, you want to do things in the moment, basically, was the message of that song. And that was really well done. I was like, wow, this guy can sing a little bit. Really well done. Really well done. So I see why he has an audience. I can see why that guy has an audience. So, did I like New Kids on the Block? New Kids on the Block and Taylor Swift are two different things. Taylor Swift writes her music. She was not handpicked. She came up playing country fairs. She's a little girl from Reading, Pennsylvania, who is highly intelligent emotionally, who understood where she was going. She had vision, man. Y'all can crap on Taylor Swift all you want, but the thing about music, though, is, like, people always ask me, because they know when you play, who's the best guitarist? There is no best guitarist. There's never been a best guitarist. The stuff's art, man. And, so one person looks at something and goes, that sucks. Another person looks at something and goes, that's beautiful. It's always been that way. And when you're, and then you'll play a song for a friend of yours, and they'll look at you like, you like that? Yeah, I like that. So what's wrong with that? I mean, I'm going to tease Bri about bro country, but it is what it is. I mean, if Brian loves it, a lot of people love it. See, sports, there's a scoreboard in sports. We all know what we're trying to do in sports. And art's in the eye of the beholder. Hey, listen, believe it or not, Ken Miller told me. He said, my girlfriend thinks you're hot. Pino, how about that? Ken Miller said she watches on YouTube with me. You know what I say to that?
All right.
You know what I say to that? You got great taste, lady. Let's go to the phones. See, that just goes
Tony,
to
by
show
the way,
yeah.
Roberto Clemente was Puerto Rican.
Thank you. And that's why Roberto Clemente Stadium, they're so proud of him. And he and Bad Bunny are the exports then. That's what I was thinking of. Stargell used to, when they would play games in Roberto Clemente Stadium, the Phillies and Pirates always played a game. That's how I knew this. He would do this deal, and I had to move my arms on my chair to do this. He would do this thing with his bat, Bino. Let me put myself on camera here because I'm going to see if Bino remembers how Stargell. And
I absolutely remember Stargell's warm-ups play.
This thing here where he would go like this, right? Yep. The crowd in Roberto Clemente Stadium with him would go like this. You can go back and watch this now. Maybe you can find it somewhere on YouTube. But they would go, huh, 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 huh. And the reason I remember that is I was like 10 or 11 years old, and a couple kids in my neighborhood when we were playing wiffle ball threatened to beat me up if I didn't quit doing that, Bino. Because when I was batting, I would go, huh, huh, huh.
Did you flip over to the left side to do it, or did you do it right-handed?
Oh, no, I did it right-handed because I'm not talented. I'm not do that. Huh, huh, huh.
I never could hit a lick left-handed either.
No, I tried. Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. I told Laura that I would only do a little bit today so we could go walk in the park, and here I am 49 minutes later, not keeping my word to my lovely bride. Hi, you're on the air.
Am I on?
Yeah, go right ahead.
The other day you said UK and UT don't suck. I got to say, speak for yourself, pal. Kentucky is elite. Y'all suck. We're going all the way, boy.
Going all the way
and
where?
Here it is.
You're going all the way where?
Watch it. The Natty. I'm telling you, number 9. Here we come.
Bro, you haven't been out of the Sweet 16 since we had COVID. What are you talking about?
Well, hey, we had a different coach. We got a winner now.
A
and
winner? You call that? Yeah, he's a winner, all right. I'll tell you what about this Pope guy. You guys need to play a game at Middlesboro High School because you are the Kentucky Midcats.
Hey, one out Arkansas, y'all couldn't do that. No one could.
Mid.
Arkansas?
No, you. Mid.
No, we beat Arkansas. We beat y'all twice.
And you're mid. That's why I'm pissed off. That's why it feels like 5 losses. Y'all can't play. Y'all can't play.
We'll play ball, and you'll see. I hated when Cal said it, but we're built for March. Watch it.
This team? You don't have any guard play. What do you mean you're built for March?
Hey, we spent like a few million on Aberdeen. You'll work.
You spent $21 million on your roster, and they play like a $4 million roster.
Well, because, half of them are kind of out, so that kind of comes back to it. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what I like about you? You're very respectful. You're keeping it clean. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I just like talking to fellow college fans.
Yeah, I love that you guys love college basketball, too. I love it. I love how much Kentucky fans love their team, and believe me, you guys bombarded my phone the other night. It was hilarious.
Yeah, some of those dudes are crazy. But hey,
they're nuts.
I respect you.
They're nuts. I got called every name in the book. Bino, what about the guy that said when I say the word brah? What'd you think of that, Bino?
I think it was late at night, and
should I publish
some
that?
Imbibing going on.
Should I publish that, Bino?
No.
Hey, good talking to you, brother, but you ain't gone all the way. I'll take the field over you guys. Bino, do you believe Kentucky gets to the Sweet 16 with that basketball team they have?
I believe the Cats are built for us in the second half and a little more.
I'm so idiotic, Bino, that I declared that if we played them in the tournament, we would beat them. Hey, Basilio, based on what? Based on what, Tony? Now that we're about an hour past that comment. Besides it being good and fun radio fodder, why in the hell, Tony, would you say something like that into a microphone? If we play them again in the SEC tournament, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get up 14, and we're going to watch that thing whittle away. We're not going to call a timeout while the run's happening, and we're going to get our ass beat. How close am I, Bri?
I wasn't really feeling good at halftime Saturday night, to be honest, because I've seen the script.
By the way, modern day coaches, do they get to turn in timeouts unused at the end of the season, like green stamps or something? Not just our coaches. I mean, we do it in both sports.
Bino, they won't take timeouts when they need to. I'm going to take you back to the national championship game in football. And Watson Brown said to me, and I quote, he's the only guy in the deal that would ever take a timeout there and call his defense over. Every other coach sits there like a damn bump on a log and lets the other team score that touchdown. Okay, stop me when I'm wrong. Have you ever seen a head coach do that when everybody in the stadium knows that team's getting ready to go in there and score? Call timeout at midfield and say, guys, this is what we're going to do here. I'm not talking about on the goal line where they all get a look at a play and you see coaches do that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about at midfield, a coach saying, I know that team's getting ready to score. I'm going to call timeout. I'm going to attempt to affect this football game because, damn it, my name's on this. You can hate on the guy at Indiana all you want. You can hate on Indiana all you want. This audience in particular can hate on Hoosier Ryan all you want. He's the only guy I've ever seen do that. Bino, have you ever seen that in a football game, a head coach do that?
If I have, I can count on one hand if I have, Tony. I don't remember it. And he seems to be immune to what the response may be of anything he does if it doesn't work. I don't know if it's where he's at, how he got there, how much better they are than when he got there, but he don't care. He don't care what you think. And he coaches free.
He acts like a man to me. Like, that's how men talk.
Yeah.
Like this, okay? Do you think you're going to win here? Get Google out. I've won everywhere I've been. Check the internet. Go look up my record. One of the greatest pieces of coaching we've ever seen.
Yeah, without question.
I mean, you can hate on him all you want. You can hate on this Hoosier Ryan guy and these Indiana fans and their Johnny-come-latelys, and they jump on a bandwagon and they don't deserve it and this, that, and the other. But you know what? When you look at the odds to win a national championship next year, Indiana's right up there again. You know why? Because of him. Because that guy is a stone-cold winner. That's what he is. Stone-cold winner. And with the Olympics going on right now, my friends over at VIP Play want to remind you, you bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Of the 10 questions that in the Super Bowl party, I got 7 right, 3 wrong. I thought Bad Bunny was going to change more than he changed. He didn't really change. He just kept his clothes on. But you can insert your promo code in the phrase that pays, TN Tony. They're going to have fun with the Olympics with you. Look, this men's hockey tournament's getting ready to start. That's going to be incredible to watch. Full slate in the NBA. Full slate of college ball. Full slate in the SEC tomorrow night. Tennessee, Bry is on the road with Mississippi Mistake on Wednesday. What's tip time in that one, Bry?
9 Eastern.
VIP Play live always 200-plus leagues. Numerous bet types, props, options available for you. Go have fun and get treated like a VIP over at VIP Play, where everybody's treated like a VIP. And if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the great state of Tennessee to place a bet. As I go back to our phones and get another call in, but I am going to go play music, get outside today, because I think it's going to rain next couple days. It's actually, Brian, have you been outside today? Is it decent out? It was supposed to be warm, right? Is it nice and warm?
Yeah, it's about, I haven't been out, but it's close to 55. Going to get up to 60.
Yeah, and as JJ Cale
said, it feels really nice right now, I'm sure.
After midnight, we're going to let it all hang out. Now, one thing I never understood about the After Midnight song is the lyric, "We going to shake your tambourine." You think we're talking about a tambourine, Bino?
I wouldn't think so.
After midnight, we gonna shake your tambourine. JJ Cale's the king of cool. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony.
Welcome in.
This is old Jay. I saw you back during football season, if you'll remember.
What's up, Jay?
You hugged my wife like you meant it.
Brother, let me tell you something. I'm a hugger. I'm a lover, not a fighter, and I am a hugger. Yep.
Bino just stood there, and I looked at Bino, and he looked at me, and he just shrugged his shoulders. That's a fact.
Hey, Bino wasn't. After all these years, he doesn't know what to think of me. I hug and kiss Bino in the neck all the time.
Hey, that last Kentucky. Now I'm a Kentucky guy, you know that. But that last Kentucky guy, bless his heart, he's young and delusional. You could just tell. I'm old.
That's right. When you're his age, you can magical think, right?
Oh, you can just yeah. You can just believe it's going to happen, and
yep.
You know what has happened to Kentucky? You nailed it. If you mentioned, you keep talking about the COVID year. They won 9 games that year, by the way. I said that correctly. They won 9 games.
So, in other words, they weren't going that year either. Is your point?
They wasn't going to the NIT. They wasn't going to the TSSAA. They wasn't going to a district tournament in high school basketball that year. But anyway, big. It was a big win. I enjoyed the North Carolina beating Duke probably better than Kentucky beating Tennessee, and that probably sounds moronic to you. But I hate both those teams. But
I took a lot of glee. That's all I watched was the last 30 seconds of that game. And when that 3 ball went in from that corner pocket, God, it was unbelievable. Look at Shire's face.
I just want to touch on something that you said. You talked about Mark Pope.
Hit it.
Mark Pope inherited a team last year with 1 player. Got him to Sweet 16. I think Mark Pope's. I don't know if Mark Pope is the hope, but he's took a job that nobody else would take. I got on a message thing the other day with Kentucky fans, and they were ready to fire Pope, a couple weeks ago. And I'm like,
oh yeah,
he wasn't your first choice. He wasn't the second, third. He was probably about the 5th. Nobody else would come.
Yep.
They threw sick money at Hurley up there at UConn.
Yep.
And the guy out there at what's his name, Baylor. He flew to town, and they saw that, and they went back to Texas. Heck with this place. But, there's got to be there's going to be a young coach out there that wants to take the job. Back to your program. I think Rick Barnes is a phenomenal coach. He's a Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Yep.
Rick Barnes is running into the same thing, in my opinion, that Krzyzewski and Williams is running into. The old school days guys don't work no more. Just don't. That old type of play. But I'll say this. Mark Pope is wanting to play analytical basketball.
Yes.
That don't work either. But that kid, that coach over there at Duke, who's getting everybody? I mean, guys, he took over a program.
Getting everybody.
He's getting everybody.
Yep.
Arizona is getting everybody. I mean, it's
yep.
But, back to the old rivalry, I love it. I'm just like you. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. I get, when y'all, but I get cracked up when you guys do beat Kentucky in basketball. I don't go to Thompson Bowling Arena anymore. I do not go.
You don't? Why? You get mistreated there?
Yeah.
Really? They're not welcoming like I was.
I'll tell you when I got mad. My dad's a preacher.
Right.
My dad's a good man, and we was up there one year for a game, and he was just, man, I don't care.
Right.
Because I know how it is,
Who cares, right?
But my dad,
right.
I get, what I'm saying. There's a respect line there. Older people, if me and you's going at it, me and you are going at it.
Who cares?
We're going at it, and
right.
hopefully it's playful.
Right.
But my dad doesn't fall in that ilk. My dad's 80 years old,
Well, anybody that would sit there and cuss at a man at that age and say some of the foul things that I've heard fans of all shapes and sizes say to people like that, that's just like this. Look, that guy in Philadelphia that picked a fight with that woman and got all crude and crass with her and got his ass beat, that was one of my favorite videos I've ever seen. Because let me tell you something. My mom, when I was a kid, taught me something, which is a great lesson. There's a time and a place for everything, and that was the time and that was the place for that man to wear an ass whooping. He deserved it. deserved it. You do not. And let me tell you, you do not. And he ended up losing his job, I think, too.
Yep.
There's no reason for a man to talk to a woman like that ever. Ever. And that a bunch of other men sat around and let that happen is a real sad statement on our society and the state of manhood in our society. Because that's a Barbara Streisand. That man deserved to get his ass whipped.
I don't know how far either team will go in the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
I don't think either one of them. I don't know if Kentucky gets out the first weekend, to be honest. I think they could.
Yeah.
For some reason, they can put it together. I definitely don't think they're going to the Sweet 16.
You know what those two teams are that we saw play the other night? Let's be honest about it. They're both kind of mid-college basketball teams. Tennessee has two players and borderline nobody else that will contribute. And Kentucky has, with all the injuries that they've had, which is two pretty significant ones, they have Tega Owe, who's a really nice player. The Aberdeen kid has been a season saver. And the freshman Moreno goes in and out. Their front line goes in and out. But, yeah.
You put them both. You put both those teams together,
yep.
You got a pretty good team.
No doubt about it. Thank you, my brother.
Anyway,
I agree. Thank you.
Hey, good guys.
Thank you.
Be safe out there, Jay.
Yeah, and Jay's a good dude. Jay said, I'm a Kentucky fan, and his wife was there. It was before the Kentucky game, right, Bino? Football?
Yes.
And I gave him a big old hug, and I gave her a big old hug. And I told her, I said, hey, I'm a hugger. She said, I am too. So. Dave just jumped in and said, what did I miss today? Dave, you are going to love today's first hour, bro. Because that was some negativity. That was some rain clouds on a sunny day, Dave. You're going to turn that thing up. With the week you've had with your dad and everything you've been through, you're going to prop your feet up on the back deck, Dave. And, brother, you're going to turn that thing. You're going to crank up that volume, and you're going to love that negativity, Dave. Am I lying today, Bino?
No. You may get some amens from Dave from the first hour.
And Joe Green said, great monologue today off the top. Coaches today are narcissistic. You can't tell them anything. He's exactly right. What we've done in the coach culture today and with the money these people are making, when a head coach making seven figures would stand up there after a game like that Lady Vol coach did, when Barnes would stand up there and say, when he was asked about this one affecting him, and he said, nah, that first one did affect me. This one, nah. Hey, listen, man. Several hundred of our fans drove up there and paid good money to get in there. You don't have to say that after a game. Of course losing affects me. That's the answer. And that's enough. Of course, I can't stand losing. It keeps me up at night. That's the answer. I can't stand losing. It keeps me up at night. Of course. Of course it affects me. What do you think this is? And for her, hey, Queen Kimmy, you just got your ass beat by 45 points, and you have the testicular fortitude to stand up there and say, well, my team's just a bunch of quitters. And, I mean, look at me. I'm brilliant. And look at them. They suck. I'm brilliant. They suck. I mean, that's like Butch Jones telling us that his offense was infallible.
It's approach.
I mean,
the entire approach.
Is
infallible.
Is that what he said, Bino? And I think he meant it.
Yeah.
I think that moron meant it when he said it.
Our system, I think he said, is infallible. That may be one of the greatest lies ever told.
Just another game. Barnes said, whatever. This one ain't going to bother me. Really? What bothers me?
Go ahead, Brian. I'll shoot.
Bothers me. It bothered me.
Bino, we're in overtime to the overtime.
Boys,
what does that mean?
Boy, that means it's time to go. Boys, I love you. I was only going to stay on about 15 minutes, and I stayed on an hour and 10 minutes after saying I wasn't going to stay on. But, all right, boys, love.
Be good. Have a good week, guys.
Love both of you. Thank you, Beanstar. Love all of our wonderful sponsors for helping us today. Matt will be in tomorrow, along with Bry, along with John Adams. John Adams, I might have to apologize to him tomorrow. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to ask John if he deserves an apology. Because he was skeptical that that style of play would work in this league, and he knows that sport. So, I don't know. I got to think about how I'm going to handle. I got to think about how I'm going to handle it. Alan Ward with some words to live by. Put some sunscreen on your head. Alan, I cover my head up most of the time when I'm out in the sun. You know, I had a friend get skin cancer like that after shaving his head, and I took that to heart. I respect the sun. But I need to get, Alan, a little bit of little sun on it. You know what I mean? It's like a balance. It's like a balance there. I'm trying to walk at balance. Brent thinks I should apologize. DJ says I'm not going to listen tomorrow. I'm not interested in LSU sports. Whoa, that stings, DJ. Except, you know what? You will be listening tomorrow. You know why? Because it's the best thing going today. Woo! When is the watch party? I have no idea. Till we meet again, love you, appreciate you. Peace and G to the B to the O. Friday, I'll be back with Bino. Peace. And for those of you that missed today's foray into greatness, let me run it back for you. Nega Dave, you're going to love this faux show. Because we came out hard. We came out hot today. You know, when you're coming in hot, sometimes you come in hot. I came in pretty hot today. And I'll be honest with you, this Kim Caldwell lady, thinking she's better than what she's doing, she's very fortunate to have the job she has because our AD has to reinvent the wheel when he's hiring people. Him making this men's basketball hire is really concerning to me. This guy doesn't have a great track record at basketball. Okay? The guy that he hired at Buffalo that's at Arizona State is only still have a job because his last name's Hurley. That guy's awful. Nate Oates was on that staff there. That was a guy Hurley hired. That's not a Barnes. That's not a Danny White hire. The guy he hired at Central Florida was an awful coach, awful basketball coach. And this hire that he made for the Lady Vols, out there everywhere. This hire that he made for the Lady Vols, no offense, I'm not giving up on her. Whew. Wow. It's not aging well. I mean, this guy looked like he was all-knowing at one point. Now he looks like he's no-knowing. No offense. Appreciate you. Here's today's show. 12. And they really, I'll tell you one thing about that Great Northwest up there. They really do, crowd-wise, know how to get the party started. I mean, that is a great home crowd they play in front of. And the Seattle Seahawks, who came into existence when I was a kid with the likes of Steve Largent and Jim Zorn, they were a lot of fun back in the day. But they're your Super Bowl champion. And last night's game reminded me of two teams that came from like almost two different leagues and were playing each other. That's what you would think a game would look like.